point, you should have went with monkey. You went with lion, but like you're a Saiyan, bro.
Hey, I don't know. You said brawler, so like I think lions could be big and brawly.
Mm,
Yeah.
All
I
right.
like the lion thing though because you got those claws.
Yeah,
I
those are
could see
cool,
Tiger
too.
more. I could see
Yeah,
Tiger for him more.
I like
I like the
lions
lion.
more. All right, so we are
He
live
wants the
again.
mane.
I mean, we've been live on the vertical one, but now we're live on everything else. Hopefully, it stays live this time.
Hell yeah.
So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry for that mishap. Welcome to the Nerding Out podcast. We go over one anime, one game, and one pondering nerdy topic of some sort. Let's see. So, first and foremost, we will start up our intro vid. Be right back.
Intro question could be, what food did you enjoy the most from your Thanksgiving? Again.
Oh.
It was so good.
It's so because it's right in my ear with the headphones on. I fucking felt like I felt my trailer shake just now. That's how, dude. That's too fucking good of a sound. That's
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. It was quiet too. Oh my god. Oh, you're done. You're cooked.
All right, we are back, everybody. So, if you're confused by the lapping, 7 Inches got a secret cold sauce with the knock sound effect again, and it flips him the fuck out every time. So yeah,
It
good
was
times.
wonderful.
All right, introductions. I am your host, Squall Rush, gaming addict, anime nerd, Dragon Ball Z fanatic, all that good stuff. Emphasis on everything but the DBZ fanatic because it's the Nerding Out podcast today. So I can showcase all my knowledge and stuff of things that I love. But let's see, announcements. I do have the backup accounts for YouTube, so please check that out since I got the warning strike over some copyrighted music that I didn't even have in my stream. So please check out the backup accounts to make sure I can keep posting and stuff like that, just in case they decide to give me more copyright strikes for dumb reasons. Got the Buy Me a Coffee account, so please check that out if you don't have a donate button on wherever you're watching from. And other than that, let's see, I just posted another reverse Nuzlocke video this morning. So check that out between me and DT Dub. It's a pretty good one. And I have an anime sessions video posting in a couple days. That one will be, when did L find out that for sure that Light was Kira? So I deep dive into Death Note and give my reasoning on why I think this is the moment that L found out Light was Kira. So other than that, would you say the intro question was?
What was
favorite
the
food
thing
from
you?
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah.
favorite food from Thanksgiving. You know, I recently
me, Goku.
I recently found out about dark meat turkey like a couple years ago. So now I kind of look forward to dark meat turkey at Thanksgiving because
What?
it's always been white meat turkey
What do you
and
mean
like
by
that
that?
stuff is like so
Serious?
dry. But dark meat turkey is like not dry, so it actually tastes good. So I'm really fucking
What are
with
you?
dark meat turkey.
I need you to expand on that. What do you mean by that?
I
The
don't
legs and the thighs.
know. I
No,
don't
no,
know
no. I
what dark
understand
meat
what you're
turkey.
saying.
I don't know what dark meat
But, like-
turkey is.
Like
It's
the
the
dark meat
legs
on the
and the
turkey?
thighs. Yes, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Are
Yeah,
you saying
let's
you
go with
never get the
that.
legs and thighs? Are you saying
I
you
don't
never
I
get the
know.
legs?
guess.
I
I
guess.
always get the legs and thighs. I always get the legs. Listen, bro, that's where the flavor is, man.
Well, it's
Some
not
people they
dry. It's not dry like the other one. Like,
I know, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
we
telling you.
all know. What the fuck? That's why I asked how old you
Hey,
were. He was like, I just found out that turkey also has dark meat like chicken stew.
that shit's fire, bro.
bro, I always get that, bro, because it's like like I've been to like so many Thanksgivings I've been to. Like it's always it's not dry, but there's no flavor, and so it's like I gotta go for like the leg, and the leg always has the seasoning's quite close. Season is punctual, penetrated the meat, and it's in there. I can't try eat no breast, no back meat, none of that. No, I'll be alright with a wing, but I'm not doing no breast. It's not worth it.
Breastises.
All right,
You know,
it's
you
you, cold
remember what
sauce.
movie that's from?
I remember that. I remember the meme. I think I know where it's coming
Don't
from
steal
though.
my music either.
Oh, you're going cold sauce. So do you. You're next.
Yeah, it's your
All
move,
right.
dog.
Well then. All right. Well then, hold on. Let me start my theme song right quick. Up, everybody.
No laugh from you, Seven Ninja, or no reaction.
Oh, I see it. I see it. All right, though. I see it. Oh no.
Right over his fucking head, bro. What's up, everybody? I'm Secret Code Sauce. Um, you can find me on TikTok at Hunter on Tick. I am the most handsome man on this podcast.
Why the
Uh,
fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
well, y'all fucking came with your guns loaded on that one. Insecurities. Okay, so anyways, what was that other thing we were gonna say?
Favorite
My
food.
favorite my favorite Thanksgiving food was my Aunt Kathy's roast beef. Dude, this woman has figured out the recipe of the gods when it comes to roast beef. I don't know how she fucking does it. My papa, he makes a fucking rice dressing and he cheats. I probably shouldn't say this on the internet, but he uses becroche. It's an illegal bird. We're not supposed to hunt it. But it's still not as good as my Aunt Kathy's roast beef. Nothing's as good as my Aunt Kathy's roast beef. Not my shrimp stew, not fucking my ex stepmama's shrimp and crab gumbo, nothing. Right? This roast beef is fucking phenomenal. It makes phenomenal look mediocre. The best roast beef you ever had is like fucking high school football level compared to this fucking NFL Super Bowl winning team roast beef. All right. It's fucking bananas how good this shit is.
Bananas. Hold up, though. We just got a raid from Interstellar Gaming.
Hey.
Woo! Thanks for the raid, bro.
What's up, Interstellar?
Oh.
So what I'm hearing is we gotta go over to see Cold Sauce House next Thursday, or not next Thursday, next Thanksgiving, and try out this roast beef.
That's what I'm
Yeah, y'all,
hearing.
come on.
That's what I'm hearing. So I'm just noticing this man is trying to steal my whole theme. I'm seeing it over there. I see you. Listen, guys, it's 7 into 7. You can find me on Game Jolt, MeWe, and Rumble. It should lead you back to my Rumble channel. He thinks he's a Sith now. I see him. I see him. I see him. Um, Ninja Connoisseur, and I'm very big into them. I obviously named myself after them, but I'm very big into them. And for what we're planning on doing on my channel. I have not done the Dan to Dan episode 9 review yet. It will probably be today or tomorrow, so get ready for that. Regardless of all of that, you can. Wow, wow, what was that? But regardless,
So the-
the for my favorite food, so it would have to be the banana pudding. Now,
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of like I don't mind having the slices, banana slices, but if it can be like kind of minced a little more, I'm a lot bigger of a fan because it's kind of like I feel like the banana kind of takes me out of the overall pudding, but if it's like minced really well and it kind of mixes in really well to the I want to call it sauce, but I'm not trying to call it sauce. Just kind of I think sauce is the word that's gonna work for me. So we're gonna go with the banana pudding sauce, right? Um, if it mixes really well in, I'm a big fan of that. So whenever someone can do that well, that's my favorite.
percent.
It's kind of got to be red.
Yeah, either red or green is the only ones that work.
It's like your character's like red and gray, and you ain't got no gray on you.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, we just got a bot on D Live. Anyways,
What's that mean?
A bot, like some guy hopping in, like, hey, like you could get more subscribers. Come message me on Discord. Like we get those a lot. Like I get those a lot on Kick all the time. But we got
this.
an anime segment coming up. Studio Ghibli. And it is
One of the best movies.
a little bit. All right. Oh, Logan. I just caught that. All right. So welcome back, everyone. So for the anime segment, we are discussing a Studio Ghibli movie. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of this one, but it is called Castle in the Sky. It's a old 80s movie. Was it 80s? I think it's 80s. 91. 91. So old school is fuck. Let me do the simple rundown for it since it was my suggestion for nerding out. Basically, this movie was nothing like I remembered it like 20-ish years ago. I remember it being a little more about the castle, but the castle was kind of more at the end. Basically, it's about a little girl who has an ancient heritage, who has an ancient crystal that can do secret powers, save her from falling from like imminent death. She falls from the sky, lands on the ground. Not doesn't land on the ground, like floats to the ground. A boy who's a miner, like coal mining, finds this girl. Yeah, that too. Finds this girl, and then they basically go on this adventure where the girl is being hunted by pirates who are trying to get her crystal, and by the army who's also trying to get her crystal to gain access to this castle in the sky. The boy also is trying to find this castle in the sky because not for the same reasons the pirates and the army is after it. The pirates are after it to get the treasure, to steal the treasure and sell it and get rich. The army is after it because I don't know why the rest of the army is after it, but one guy in particular is after it to get its power. Because he knows the secrets of the castle in the sky and all the power it unlocks. The boy just knows that his dad seen the castle in the sky and took a picture before being like pushed away by air currents or whatever. And now he's like enthusiastic and it's just like it's his dream to see this thing. That's why he wants to see it. But they all need the little girl. The little girl is the key to go find the castle in the sky because she can control this crystal that shoots a beam of light that points toward the castle in the sky. And But out of all the people that want this little girl, little boy is the one that she is most cool with because, he's like innocent, pure, doesn't have any evil intentions with the castle in the sky. So he's like your main protagonist. Uh, Other than that, I can't think of anything else to explain about it. So that's the premise of it. So let's deep dive into this. Start with initial thoughts. Hunter, I want to start with your initial thoughts first, and then Seven Ninja.
I only saw half of it. And I'm really fucking jealous. I'm so fucking jealous of that little boy. I'm telling you that I want to be a fucking miner in the fucking 1980s in whatever fucking country that was, because holy shit, that shit felt like home to me. I felt like I was at home, and I didn't grow up in nothing nowhere close to that type of setting. I grew up in the swamps of Louisiana. I grew up running from alligators to get to school. You understand me? There was nothing close to what I saw in this movie that was where I'm from. But when I tell you that this little boy ran to his boss because these pirates were chasing him, and then his boss stood there with his mustache and his muscles and said, I wish you fucking would try to get your hands on these kids. And then the wife comes out with the frying pan, a cast iron frying pan, and she was swinging that thing around like it weighed nothing more than a fucking number 2 pencil. This motherfucker, these pirates, one of them took the fucking hat off of their partner. It was like, flex your muscles, show them what you can do. Flex his muscle, boom, shirt blew up. And then after that, the boss with the mustache and the muscles, he was like, oh yeah, watch this. Boom, flex his muscles, shirt blew up. They were like, oh shit. Punched him in the gut. And then he was like, ha ha, punched him in the gut. Dude's still tough. He's a pirate. But they started getting it on. The whole town got involved. They started fucking these pirates up. So I'm telling you, whole time, kids went out the back door. Shit was amazing, dog.
Huh? Seven Ninja.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna be as explosive as cold sauce over here. That's the secret. So I enjoyed the movie. I think was its inspiring message. I guess the message really became like peace and love at the end. But like, I guess I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed seeing like steampunk being on display again. I don't really see a lot of stuff with steampunk, but I think Studio Ghibli, they seem to go with steampunk a lot actually, as their vehicles, their worlds. I kind of would like to know why. Howl's Moving Castle is another movie that brings up steampunk a lot. I would kind of like to know why they went that route in like a lot of their movies. But the overall setting, I love seeing the heroics of the boy. Like he's willing to go at it. Even in that scene that Cold Sauce is talking about, like he's ready to scrap with the pirates himself. So that energy that's in the boss is in the kids as well. And so I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of just like, he's a risk taker. I mean, that whole squall they fell down, bro. Listen. That rascal. Well, no, we already knew he was willing to try some stuff when he had that pendant from that girl, and he said, "I'm just gonna try falling and see if I'll start floating." Where's his glider at? Where's his parachute? It don't matter. He's ready to go. So I'm a big fan of that dude. Seeing the pirates, the mother and the sons, and Eggman. For anyone who's watched it, you probably know what I'm talking about when I say Eggman. But big fan of seeing like the ins and outs of like the steampunk world that we saw there. We kind of learned a little bit about the crystals when we went down to the bottom with the old man. We know it's powerful, but we didn't really know until once we got to like the very end about how strong the crystals could actually be. But for the most part, it's kind of cool just like learning about the crystals and seeing that it's not just in the sky, it's also in the ground, but nothing as refined and pure. I know I'm spoiling a little bit for you, Cold Sauce, so I hope to hear more about your side of this on the second half of the movie.
Not
But
even listening.
oh, gotcha, I gotcha. But I'd say I thoroughly enjoyed the overall movie overall. I know you guys aren't giving your rating yet, so don't let's continue talking. But I'm gonna say, out of all of them, all the Studio Ghibli movies I've seen so far, this is the third best one I've seen so far.
Okay. No, I remember I watched this when I was like a teenager, like 14, 15. It was on a month of Miyazaki on Toonami. So I was like, it was like 2008-ish, 2007, 2006, one of those. So like it was kind of interesting to me. Like I really like this whole. I really like peeking back into older movies and what their interpretation of newer futuristic technology would be. So like in this movie we had like a glimpse of that with the castle in the sky. We had like futuristic ancient technology with the robots. We had that room where like blocks in ancient scriptures were moving around. Like I really enjoy like stuff like that, like, and seeing how different we ended up turning out 40, 30 years later down the line. Like another example would be like The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis in it. Like how they had that old futuristic robot and stuff like that. So I enjoy movies like that. Let's see. When I remember like more. I remember it being more about like the futuristic castle, like when I was younger. But like as like when I rewatched it, it was kind of more like a glimpse. Like they hop onto the castle, they meet the robot. You found out there's only one robot, and the whole place is overrun by flowers and plants and stuff like that. I don't remember none of this. I remember there being more robots, but I mean technically there were, but they were all dead by the time we all see them, or they're all done for. And then like the army comes and they capture the pirates, and then they're like the army is like coming to take over the castle. Like it felt all very quick, more quick than what I remember like 20-ish years ago. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. That's kind of like, what's the word? That's kind of like a standard, like how fast these movies and animes kind of move, like in today's day and age. I mean, that's kind of like normal to me now. Like when I watch movies, anime movies and stuff like that. But overall, like I still enjoyed the movie. It's, you know, it's like it had that very old school feel to it, where it's like boy finds girl, boy's rescuing girl, like very prince needs saving type of vibes, you know. And like the boy falls in love with the princess. You're normal everyday type of you're like your old school like type of like movie vibe. They don't have too many of that anymore, so I mean if they did, it'd be kind of like weird. But for back in the day, that's like a normal thing, and like that was the type of movies that I fell in love with when I was a kid, you know. Animation was really good. The whole time the boy was up on the castle and like trying to save the girl, and he was like hanging by vines and shit. My anxiety was peaking. You know, like I thought he was gonna fall off so many times, but I was like, dude, that's imminent death right there. If he falls, that's it.
That brother's grip strength is crazy. Like
Yeah.
sometimes he just hang out on straight up walls. Like I remember he knocked his shoes off and he climbs up that pipe and he's just like, I'm getting full speed, and he barely makes it. Bro, listen. If he would have slid down, it's over. Oh my god. Then remember when he threw that bomb in that place where he was at? I'm like, how is he alive? Oh my god. That dude's a trooper, bro. Okay? That man's a trooper.
Definitely a lot of plot armor. Like I remember when he before he started climbing up that tube, like he like was hanging on some vines, and then there was like an explosion or something that like threw him off the vines into that tube. Like that was scary enough. and then he like looks up like, oh, a robot. And then they all turn alive and shoot out. So he's like, oh shit. So he like jumps out and barely hangs on. I'm like, oh god, bro. Like every step he takes, he like barely survives, bro. It's like, dude, my heart, bro. Like I'm scared of heights. So that every time like it cuts to that boy, him barely surviving, bro, that shit was scaring the fuck out of me.
And remember, he has that big gun. He's got 2 grenade or whatever they are on him. That big gun he has, bro, he's got weight on him too, hanging him down. And he's still, that Rat Brother's grip strength is crazy. Like, bro, he's crazy.
Yeah, bro,
and
it's
that
like half
motherfucker
spider.
works for a living.
Oh yeah, he does
got
have
that grip 'cause he's out there fucking working, son. That's back when men were men. That's back when Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed was throwing bombs in the fucking ring at each other's faces, and it was like, that's all you got. Adrian hits harder than me. I mean, you.
Yeah, bro.
He's
It's
definitely
true.
doing.
He does have like a minor type grip strength, so that makes sense. Like when I was watching the whole thing, I was like, damn, bro, is he like half spider? Yeah,
The parkour that we've been seeing in this movie, though, you know, like the amount of stuff that he was willing to do to just survive is crazy. 'Cause it really makes you wonder, like, what was happening on an average day for him to be climbing stuff on a regular basis, to be over here like practically hanging by a thread at all times, and still like confident that he'll survive. It's like it really makes you wonder what happens on a regular day.
This is a daily occurrence for this dude. This motherfucker is constantly rock climbing without a safety rope. He's doing all kind of shit. He's getting to the spots in the caves that the men are like, hey, go check that spot out. And then he climbs up there and then he's like, yeah, they got shit we can mine over here. And they're like, all right, boys, let's get it. And they put their fucking pickaxes on their back and they climb up there. And by the time they get up there, they got a whole nother layer of their mustache that grew out.
Dude, so
Bro,
I was like watching like the part where the castle crumbles, right? And it shows it breaking piece by piece from the bottom and then just keeps crumbling or cracking all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. A bunch of tiny little pieces just falling. And like this is before CGI, so that's all 2D hand drawn stuff. Like just think how long it took for them just to make that one little 5 to 10 second just the castle crumbling down. Like there's so many
Back on
moving
the old
pieces.
celluloid sheets. That's what those are called.
I'm just like in shock and amazed at like how much talent and time and effort they put into one little scene like that. And they had stuff like that throughout the whole movie, bro.
When that robot came alive, bro, oh my god, that robot was taking him out left and right. It was crazy. It straight up caused the whole. It might as well have been a nuke on the ground the way that robot was taking him out. But do you guys remember? Not you, Cold Sauce, but Squall. Do you remember
I
how
can tell
much
you the
that
exact
capsule
part
went
of
away?
something.
Let me know.
So she had that robot thing had came back to life, and she had just realized that it was starting to protect her. And the little boy had teamed up with those pirates led by that mom, and they were pulling up on the girl on the dragonfly, and she told the robot, they're here to help me, you know, let me go with them. And he places her on the thing, and then a missile came down and takes out the robot. And then I paused it and got in the podcast.
I got you. All right.
So I don't
what I
even
was
know if
thinking
she
about
gets on that dragonfly thing with him.
But I was thinking about specifically the castle. We get to see like a good chunk of the castle, and it's falling apart. But like there's animals and stuff on there. I wonder if the oasis is still intact, at least to a degree that it can sustain itself. Because if we remember correctly, especially at the end squall, like a good portion of that orbish, domish shape is gone, which means it's possible the water is running off, the planets themselves are going to run out. I'm thinking most of that stuff's going to die up there, but it's a Miyazaki film. There's no way they're going to do that. But like, I wonder how much of that castle is still self-sustaining. And it's actually, I think it's in space now. It's orbiting, but I feel like it's in space. Unless it has its own kind of life biome because of the oasis itself.
I think the part of the castle that held all the
Holy
technology.
shit. Artemis is watching the stream.
Oh, nice. Welcome
Hey,
in,
She
Artie.
texted me. She said, "Why you?" She said, "Bitch, why you look like an evil mastermind?"
He's the Sith. Lord of the Sith. Yeah, I think a good
Speaking
portion.
of, before I don't want to go off topic, but there are rumors that George Lucas is buying back Star Wars.
Oh shit.
I can see that. I feel that.
Kinky Whisker.
Maybe Elon
Welcome in.
Musk would buy
Welcome
it.
in.
It's Kinky Whisker.
That's Whisker on Twitch. Yeah. So I think a good portion of that area is still intact, like the top layer with all the life and the walking platforms and stuff. And like if you remember, like the boy and the girl, they were caught by the vines. So like, and the vines were running throughout like most of the whole castle throughout the bottom. It was like all the technological parts that the army dude was using to destroy shit. That was all that got destroyed, I believe. Just the only thing I'm thinking of is when they destroyed the whole castle. Like, did it destroy from the crystal that was the big main crystal in the middle of the castle, like the bottom middle layer? Because like, I think that was the thing that was creating all the vines and the life that like grew around the castle, inside and out the castle,
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't get a shot of that.
Yeah. Because like it also it's going up too. So even if that whatever it was survived, is the biome itself, still together? Because we're talking about they're higher up in space, less oxygen. It's got to be producing its own oxygen, but like that casing that comes from the dome side of it's probably keeping the biome up together as a whole as well. So it's kind of strange that it did all that it did, because that the destroy wasn't destroying the robots per se. It was self-destructing the technology.
Yeah.
So the castle has its own atmosphere.
I'm wondering if it does. I don't know 100%, but I think it
Possible.
should.
If the crystal is still alive, I could see it creating its own atmosphere for life to sustain. Because there's no way in hell you're telling me a technological castle like that grew vines and life and grass and stuff all over around it if it wasn't for that crystal. Because like when that army dude was searching for that crystal, like, remember, like all the vines and stuff were concentrated around that crystal. So that tells me it's creating more than just technological technology, advanced technology. It's creating life. It can, that, like all the vines were hovering around it, like, yo, this is where we're originating from. That's what it spoke to me,
Did they ever explain why her people decided to go down to the planet? I never could figure that out, because like there's always going to be people who do not want to become normal people, and they were like the ruling class or the ruling
Right here.
faction, right? So
Ever
like
normal.
the idea, like it's odd that like they, again, like it's not like everyone wants to be normal. So like why would the faction that's basically ruling everything decide to like, I'm just gonna not use my technology, I could see maybe if they're planning to, I don't know, build out their technology into the world, but that's not what they're doing. So that's a very odd thing to me.
Yeah, they just straight up abandoned it. That's a good question. If I had to guess, maybe they just got tired of living there for generations and they wanted to live amongst the humans. But that's just kind of a quick guess from me. Let's see. I did have something else. Let's see. Okay. So you saw where he just joined up the pirates then, right? Hunter?
Yes, he just joined up with him.
You're gonna like that. You're gonna like the pirates. I thought the pirates were really funny. They end up turning into good guys.
I can tell that I'm gonna like the mom.
Yeah, the mom's cool. I like the mom too. It's funny.
Oh,
Like that,
Oh,
like
no.
Remember when the mom gets the girl dressed into like pirate clothing and then takes her to like the kitchen to do dishes, and like the pirate boys, they all see her and fall in love with her. And then, the one
The
guy,
little girl?
yeah. So
They fall in love with the little girl?
yeah,
I think it was
Turning
the
me
food.
off to this movie, bro.
No. Cold sauce. I think it's the fact that she's the cook. Someone else is cooking, and I think that they're falling in love with that. I don't think they're. 'Cause
no, I think it's
I don't
because when
think
they
it's a
saw
love
her,
thing.
when they saw her, they all like stare at her, and then like I didn't know why they stared at her at first until like when she's in there doing when she's doing dishes, like what's it called? Like one of the guys was like hops in there like, hey, do you need help with anything? And then there's already one of the pirates in there like helping her like carve up potatoes and stuff. He's like, what are you doing in here? Like he's like, I thought your stomach was hurting. And then all of a sudden more pirates come in one by one to help her out. I thought that was hilarious. Like I get what you're saying, but I think like in Japan like the age of consent is like different over there. And like in earlier times it was also different as well.
It's like 14 to 16, but I think 14 to 16 back then. But
Them kids were kids, bro. They were
still
like
going to
way
take the
tight
step.
on those adults.
I'm still going to take the step of saying I think what we're actually seeing there is they're more interested in the food, because when they talk about the things that they were glad to not have to do, washing dishes, hanging the laundry, the food, and she apparently knew how to cook as well. I think that, if anything, that's more what they were talking about. I don't know if I would go as far as to say fall in love. It's too early to say that. Especially because they're like pirates. They probably have seen something by now. But I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, like if they were cool with, yeah, they said like, yeah, you should let them join.
Bro.
He said, let them join so we don't have to do dishes anymore. But when she was there, they were like, hey, can I help you do dishes and stuff? And then one of the big guys actually hopped in with a flower, like, I'm in love with you. And then besides that, like if they're pirates, like think about this, like they're out, instead of out in the sea, like falling in love with a whale thinking it's a mermaid, you're out in the sky instead, and the only interaction you have with the opposite gender is your old mom.
Stop it.
So
Stop it. Stop.
that's my
Change the
point.
subject. Change the subject. There's nothing. No.
That's my thoughts on it.
You shouldn't have thoughts on that. You should. That's not okay. None of that is okay. Nothing about that is close to okay.
All right. Who was your favorite character in the overall show? Start with cold
Me?
sauce.
The fucking boss. The little boy's boss, bro, with the mustache. Him and his fucking wife, dude. I'm telling you, that little boy was standing next to his boss. He was like this, and he was like, "I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get." And the wife reaches out the door and she pulls that little boy. You a fucking kid? Get in there! Like, yes, dude. Like, she was standing on business. She was like, "My husband's out there. He's about to fight some people. Let me get the cast iron frying pan." Dude, like, I fucking love that shit, dog. Like, why I couldn't have a family growing up? I mean, damn, that shit was cool.
All right,
Okay.
Squall.
Alright. So I actually just looked up her age. It is kind of nasty. Yeah, so
Told you, them
I
little
thought she
kids
was
are like
older.
waist high.
I thought she was older than that. But anyways, so that's actually just yo, DT Dub, welcome in. So it's actually a mistranslation. Apparently, the English dub added the "I'm in love with you" part. Like in the Japanese dub, Seven Ninja was right. They were more admiring her for like being hardworking and motherly figured.
Yeah, I knew
So the dub is
there
good.
was some kind of disconnect because the shit I just saw, like I said, them kids were like waist height on the adults. That wasn't no fucking that wasn't no teenager. You know, that's not like a Leonardo DiCaprio situation. That's not like a R. Kelly situation.
Be R. Kelly situation. That might be R. Kelly situation.
R. Kelly, I mean, what he was doing was wrong. But what I'm saying is he was with the teenagers. Like them that was kids in that movie.
Let's drop the subject.
That's a different level of fucked up. Yeah.
Let's
Alright,
drop the
so
subject.
what was
Get
yours?
kicked
You said
off.
what was
Yeah.
my favorite character? Seven Ninja?
What's your favorite character?
Favorite character. You know what? I actually really liked the mom, the pirate mom. I thought she was pretty cool. Like spoilers, but like remember when he threw when that bomb was thrown to Pautsu and like we all thought he exploded and died, but then all of a sudden he like pulls out the rocks from underneath the mom and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut you free with this knife, but get out of here when you can." And then like she's like, "Oh, thanks," and then just drops him the gun, the big ass gun. I was like, "Oh, you a real one too, mom. You a real one too."
Man, the two shots.
I
came
tell
in
you
handy.
what, speaking of that mom, her shooting, that bitch got a good fucking aim. She had a straight hand cannon, like no sights on this fucking gun, just pipe and gunpowder. And they was on a fucking like railroad cart, and she needed to make the turn and shot the fucking thing. And I'm like, no sights or nothing on this. Like, that's just like that's DC Comics Deadshot level shooting right there. And this is just some old lady. Like,
She was crazy. For me, honestly,
I'm digging
I'm
this
go-
setup that I got.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm
She's
feeling
in love with me right now.
Go ahead, Seven Ninja.
is that he's not beating allegations. Let's see. For my favorite character, I have to say, in the end, it's gonna have to be Pautsu, the boy. I was gonna say the old lady, but that was wrong for me. So I would have to go with Pautsu because the thing about the villains in this anime was like we didn't really get to see him do much besides the very end. I feel like we know he's a researcher, but like there's nothing really special about him. But the feats that we get to see out of Pautsu, again, it's a minor. He has to do minor things on a regular. But the feats, the power core, the quick thinking that he thinks of, the risk taking, the daredevilness of him. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think the idea that literally, and you could always put it up to his innocence, But the idea
We
that
should-
he knew what
Let me
to
pause
do.
you. We should probably, when we say miner as in his job, we should probably say like coal miner. It's starting to confuse me whenever, like, because it's right there with like a synonym for child. Like,
I can agree with that.
but he's a coal miner.
He's a coal miner.
Some
But
coal miner habits are picking up on his adventures and actions.
it's coal miner feats,
Right.
or applying to his regular feats, because this dude is crazy. The amount of stuff that he picks up. I mean, within the span of maybe a couple of not even a couple of days, within the span of a day, he knew how to like fly the I'm gonna call it the mosquito. But he knew how to fly the thing. He knew how to keep the glider that he's riding in, and he's being the air scout. Like everything that we see this boy do, he does within the span of a single day, and he gets it immediately.
Dude, he's a hardworking motherfucker. I mean, when they got on that train track while they were running, and that train was coming, and it, you know, the guy that was driving the trolley or whatever it's called, you know, he recognized the kid instantly. You know, they worked together and shit. And right when he got on, he was like, "Help me feed the engine." The kid knew exactly what to do. So, like, you know, that kid is like a jack of all trades already. You know, that kid's in there busting his ass day in and day out. And he's an orphan, like he's got to. Like my Papa Bean, not my Papa Bean, I'm sorry, my Papa Hillary, my dad's dad, he got kicked out of the house in 8th grade. Dude was 13 years old, had to go make a living for himself. And that's how it was. That's why a lot of those old cats like that from that generation, they were jacks of all trades. And it's so much better to be that, like, to like have a little knowledge on so many things than to be a master at one thing. And you see it firsthand with this little 11, 12-year-old boy running around fucking main charactering the fuck out of this movie. And there's no like special powers or nothing. This is just a fucking hardworking ass kid in an extraordinary situation.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like when you see these old movies, like, and they have like a young boy as a main character or whatever, they get down and dirty with their hands, and they know how to like make shit happen with their hands. Like if same movie but made this year, you know, the little boy wouldn't have been able to do all that stuff. He probably would have had to like be like, what do I do? Or be told what to
they'd
do.
have gave him special powers to do it, you know.
Or
what I
he
mean?
would have had like it would have been more technologically advanced. Like he'd figure out how to hack it through his phone or something, you know, instead of actually know how to break it up, like take it apart with his bare hands.
Right.
So I like I thoroughly enjoy movies like this just to see how, like, cause like this movie was released in '91, so like this is before cell phones were like, I mean, I think maybe cell phones might have been out, but definitely no smartphones, and like internet and computers were definitely kind of like coming, like still in very early stages. So like in movies like in the like early '90s, you definitely don't see computers or technology and stuff like that, so you get like full on regular human like interactions in like everything you see, and you get to see like the old school rugged type of males and stuff like that. So like it's always a nice change of pace to go back to old movies like this.
Home.
Let's see, how about we rate the movie out of 10? Cold Sauce, we'll start with you. Of everything you've seen so far, what would you rate it?
So the first 45 minutes of the movie, just about, like, I can't really think of any reasons not to give it a 10 out of 10. Everything, I mean, the plot is interesting. Everything the characters are doing makes sense to the world that they're in. I mean, I could kind of drop it down for like the voice acting kind of felt artificial in that it was almost like they were still reading the lines instead of being the character. But at the same time, you're not really gonna find old animated movies that the voice actors are really gonna go all out anyway. The animation, like Squall was saying earlier, especially when you consider this is all done on celluloid sheets. This is hand drawn and scanned. You know, like this is the whole fucking thing. It was great. The movement, as far as like the animation, nothing felt choppy. Nothing felt like, oh, that character shouldn't be able to do that. Like everything was, except for like the old lady part kind of surprised me a couple times, but I mean, it's an anime anyway. All in all, I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Highly recommend watching this movie.
7 Ninja.
I
Also,
can't give it a
wait,
10 out of 10.
let me add one
What?
more thing. Because I forgot this part. When I was looking for a way to watch it, when I went type in the name of it on YouTube and I was gonna watch a reaction so I could at least know what goes on in the movie, one of the things that kept coming up was the soundtrack of the movie. So like apparently the movie has a very popular soundtrack as well.
I can't say that I really. I'm not gonna say I didn't hear the music. I don't think the music really amplified anything in particular to me, personally. I can't talk on that much. I have to say, for me, I can't give it a 10. But I could give it I'm thinking an 8.9. And the reason is that I wanted to see more of the technology of the world. We got a couple of things. We know it's steampunk, but that we were talking about the castle, how it's like kind of like really only at the end of the story. I want to see what else this crystal could do, and I kind of hate that they blew it up. I want to really know what's possible besides like the fact that these what are they called, golems exist, and the fact that there's like this castle up there. Like, what is the greatest steps of what this technology can do? And then number two, what was the reason that you would go to live a normal life if you've literally got the best technology in the world? And why would you not take that technology and somehow bring the rest of the planet up with you? Like, the idea that didn't happen didn't make too much sense to me. I know it's a Miyazaki movie, so I know I'm never going to get any answers, but I would really have loved to have that. So I'm going to have to give it an 8.9.
Yeah, if I had to guess, like older animation, like they don't have too much, what's the word, exposition? When it like explaining like a lot of things that happen in their animation, like the most notable one is Dragon Ball Z. You know, like we don't know anything about anything. We just see shit and go with it in that show. So I mean, they did a good job with like explaining
good 90s animes. I mean, we had Rurouni Kenshin, we had Cowboy Bebop,
but like they don't explain much stuff or like how things work, stuff like that. What's up, OBVT? I'm actually really shocked. I'm actually really shocked that Hunter, you like this movie. Because of all the animes we suggested so far, like you hated every single one of them. I thought for sure this one you wouldn't like since you didn't like Spirited Away, and this is another Studio Ghibli movie.
Spirited Away was scary to him, I think.
What's up?
I think Spirited Away was scary to him. I think that's what you said.
It wasn't scary. Shut the fuck up. It was terrifying. I almost couldn't go to sleep. uh, not like scary like I couldn't sleep after. It was scary like heartbreaking scary. Like this kid just all of a sudden in less than a day everything just fucking like her whole entire life is gone and then now she's a fucking slave to some magic chick who can just snap her fingers and turn her into some mindless fucking animal and shit. It's that shit was like wow. Like it was hard to sleep because of how heartbroken I was for this chick. Especially because like I didn't like me and Artemisia watched the first half of the movie and then like went to sleep and finished it the next day. Like, so I saw all the bad shit that this little girl went through and then tried to go to sleep after. And like I'm just crying, dude. Like,
Gotta know it's a freaking Studio Ghibli movie. The main character always has plot armor. I don't think of any Studio Ghibli movie.
I don't know what that means.
That's the that's the studio that is that the studio that made it? Seven Ninja.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, that's the studio.
Studio Ghibli made that.
Yes, that's the studio that makes these movies. Like Miyazaki is, I think he's the writer or the artist. So, but like the studio,
Kishimoto?
it's like Studio Ghibli is like what Disney is to the films, but Studio Ghibli is that to these films. So like most of these movies, Studio Ghibli movies, the main, I don't think I've seen a main character die or have a bad ending once. So
well, there is that one. Fireflies.
Not Cyberpunk.
Fireflies. You remember Squall?
Fireflies?
One about fire. It's something else with Fireflies, but we haven't watched it yet. And I was like,
Would not believe your eyes.
Flights of the Fireflies.
Fireflies.
The grave of the Fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies.
Reign of the Fireflies? That's what it's called?
Grave. Grave.
Try purple.
Ace Windu.
Oh, Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, I like purple.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Pet Cemetery.
I'm gonna have to look at this one. But overall,
oh, by the way, remember we had saw the commercial for that animated Lord of the Rings? It comes out December 13th.
oh snap, that's coming up soon. We should talk about that on Sensi Talks. But yeah, so I like the movie. You know, like I'm kind of like a little bit harsher on the old movies, but for the wrong reasons. Like, given the like premise of this is an older movie, you know, like I gotta judge it on older standards. Like story was good. Like everyone had clear motives, objectives, and it was clear who the bad guy was. And it was pretty cool to see like some complexity with the characters. Like the main bad guy was the army dude, and like even he was like when he had the interaction with Paotsu in the beginning, he was like yo, she's saving you, use your head, you idiot. And like that was like kind of cool, instead of like just the normal bad guy we normally see. Like would probably just be a mean dickhead and kick him in the stomach, like, yeah, this is my girl now, or some shit, you know. Let's see, other than that, like animation's top notch, loved it. I do agree with Hunter about the voice acting. The voice acting was pretty like goofy, but like when you watch any like 90s dub anime from back in the day, like it's hard to find anything good back then when it comes to like the English voice actors. They're cause like I don't think most of them know
except Cowboy
what
Bebop.
anime is. Oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop was good. I think isn't that early 2000s? I mean, like still that
I
is
want to
pretty.
Look it
say
up, Jamie.
mid 90s. Yeah, let's look it up. It
Look it up,
it
Jamie.
was older. I don't think it was after the millennium.
Millennium Falcon.
No, the year 2000.
Yeah, it's 2001. That's when it first. I mean, but still, that's still like early on. Like you're not really gonna find much
Yeah.
good anime dub until like the 2010s. You know, like I mean, like
Yeah,
arguably
and that was
late
probably
2000s.
the voice of Spike was that must have been like what put him on the map for English dub voicing because I've heard his voice in quite a few animes, though.
Yes.
The biggest name that I can think of right now is he does Shanks on One Piece.
He does Mugen for the fuck is that one Samurai Champloo. So that there's like your good, like your top-notch voice actors. Like even the voice of Ichigo from Bleach. He started out on Trigun in like the late 90s, and like back then he was kind of mid, but he became really good like in the mid 2000s when he was on Bleach. But like then people are like kind of starting to get good here or there. Yeah, definitely 90s is not like you're not gonna find much good stuff in terms of voice acting. But I mean, so I'm not gonna ding them too much for that. But overall, I give the show a solid 8.5. The movie, I meant. So I mean, like I know like a lot of new viewers, anime viewers, they're most likely not going to want to watch the older stuff. Most new people, like new anime watchers, are into like the newer stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. And like I don't blame them. The animation now is like captivating as fuck. So like that's gonna bring in a lot of new viewers. I'm probably sure they're not gonna really appreciate something like Castle in the Sky until they get older, and then they see like how much time, effort it was to make animation back in the day versus it is now.
Let's go to check and see what chat was saying when they saying them.
Yeah, I have I'm just a chill guy on YouTube asking, if you guys are gonna change the subject, you can say what you think about Dan to Dan. So me and Cold Sauce haven't seen it, but Seven Ninja, if you wanna like give your thoughts on it real quick, I'll give you the floor.
If he wants to know Seven Ninja's thoughts on Dan to Dan, he can go to rumble.com and he can watch Seven Ninja's episode by episode video review of his thoughts on Dan to Dan.
Alright, well, if you want to give a little teaser to get him to see your videos on Rumble,
make him
go
watch
for
it.
Listen, boys, Dan to Dan, it's peak anime. You're talking about an anime that actively chooses to anything that happens in any of these episodes will come up later. It does it every single time. So you want to see some consistency. You want to see like how these different episodes. I feel like even when we get to the last episode, everything that we saw in episode 1 will somehow show up again. It's guaranteed. Dan to Dan, it's peak anime. It's not your usual romance either. It's peak anime. All right, there you go.
And if you want to find his channel on Rumble, his link is in the description of where you're watching on YouTube. So 7ninja7. So check him out, and you can watch his reviews on there. Let's see. All right. Any last closing thoughts on Castle in the Sky?
Cold Sauce, tell us more about that man you like so much.
That fucking mustache clad, big forearms, manly man of a boss. That dude's the fucking goat. That dude is the dad that I never had.
I think Steve Cold Sauce is in love a little bit.
Nah, man. I don't swing on that side of the
Often
plate. Come
soft.
on now.
Day, he says. But yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, what you got, Squall?
Nothing else on that. I'm shocked. Sequel Sauce really liked it, so I'm glad you liked it. All
It was
right.
awesome.
I thought it'd be boring, honestly.
Yeah,
Or,
I thought
you know,
would be
yeah, I thought
bored
it'd
of
be-
it.
Oh no, that shit was amazing.
Cooked, ladies and gentlemen. He's cooked.
All right.
It's gonna be a sound. Be a soundboard.
Gaming segment starts now.
Fight for the right, till the dolphins flow. Fight for the right, feel the power flow. Fight with all our might, and the truth will show.
All right.
Everyone's fun.
That's we can even bring up the other stuff. Anything we want. Alright, so for this segment we are doing gaming. And we will do Power World. I don't think we've went over this world before. Or this game before. And if you know Power World, it's got a lot of stuff we can talk about with it. First of all, we'll start with something light. Gameplay. What you guys 7 Ninja, have you played Power World?
I've seen a lot of stuff on Power World. I have not played it, but I know what's going on in it.
Ah, shit.
From my opinion, you're good. From my opinion, this is kind of what I thought Pokemon would actually be. Like, as a adult, this is what I think Pokemon actually is. Like, Ash catching Pokemon, doing all this stuff. But yeah, it's Pokemon, but like, you know, we get to see a little bit of what could possibly happen with Team Rocket. But like, to take it to its fullest degree, I think that Power World is exactly what Pokemon would be realistically. The fact that catching humans, on the other hand, is kind of not happening, obviously.
You
But
can
like
do what?
catching Pokemon, Power World, you can catch humans.
Really?
You can make it work
Yep.
for free.
This game just got so much better. You telling me slavery exists in this fucking game?
I mean, yeah, it already did with the Power Worlds too.
I'm about to
Yeah.
re-download this game, bro. Hang on there.
You can battle. Like, you got some dungeon crawling and stuff like that. That is the right one. You know, and then having the Pokemon use guns as well. You know, honestly, I'm not surprised. I actually thought we'd see this a lot earlier on. Maybe not like full-on guns, but like blasters and stuff for like Pokemon. Maybe even see like a kind of space form of that, because you know Yu-Gi-Oh like went into space at some point. But like some kind of, you know, futuristic tech on the Pokemon. I figured that was going to happen already. So Power World's already went the route of modern weapons and modern technology. That's fine. But everything that I've seen so far, that's what it makes me think of. This is probably what the furthest degree of Pokemon should look like.
Yeah, I feel like every long-time Pokemon fan has at least thought of like a few times exactly what you were just saying. Like, what if it was more realistic? What if it was more adult? You know, not adult friendly, but like just there's shit that's I don't know how to explain it, but Power World took what Pokemon could have became and turned it into a game, like the world of Pokemon, and it brought to life that thought that we all, like I said, I feel like everybody has thought of a more realistic world with the rules of Pokemon and shit. And I think they do a good job of it. I think it struggles in the same exact way that every single survival game I've ever played struggles in that it takes about 2 fucking months to do any goddamn thing on this fucking game. Like, if this game is not your full-time job, you're not gonna make a whole lot of progress. And that, to me, is the biggest problem with Power World. But it's also the biggest problem with every survival game. And like, I don't know if I'm alone in that. I mean, survival games are a pretty popular genre, but I mean, how do y'all feel about that?
You know, I agree.
Well, I
to
don't
a
play them
certain-
like that.
I
I don't play them
agree,
like that, so you know.
because like
Let's go.
let's say like I don't normally like to build up a camp. I think like I know a lot of people like that aspect of survival games, like just sitting there building. Me, I find that part very boring. I want to go out there, explore, find stories, find new stuff, fight new stuff, capture new stuff. But there is like a very slow level up system after a certain point where you gotta tweak the experience and level up faster. But like if you don't tweak it, like after a certain point of exploring and all this stuff, like you're gonna hit like a level cap. I mean, not like a level cap, but there's gonna be a big level gap, I should say. Like you go from one area to another, they jump from level like 20s to like level 35s, and it takes forever to level up. And you can't catch these guys because you don't have the best equipment. You can't damage these guys because you don't have the best stats. And your pals don't have the best stats. So you guys sit there and grind for like hell of days. Like that's not a point of. That's not like you know, I'm 30 plus year old. I don't have time for shit like that to sit there and grind for hella days. You know. So I agree with like Cold Sauce in that aspect.
It's funny that that's actually nearly the opposite of what I was saying, because I like to get the ball rolling takes so much time. Like if the experience that you gain could like be on times 10 until you know you get to something like level 25 or whatever, and then it starts to slow down. Like once you get established to where you're not just dying to any old fucking thing in the damn game, and then you know the experience slows down. For me, I feel like with almost every survival game, that would be a much better way to go about it, because when there's so much shit that I could do if I unlock all these things, but I just can't do it and then a whole week later I still can't do none of these things that I see in the little unlock sections, in the little engrams, whatever you want to call it, where when you get to this level you can unlock.
Are you still there, 7 Ninja?
And he's gone.
Ah. Later, I'm just a chill guy.
Cold. Can't be that
Thanks
chill.
for hopping in. See,
Cold
Power
Sauce is
World.
gone.
Yeah, he AFK. Power World, all in all, you know, love it. You know, very like immersive world. Like when you first hop into it, like, oh snap, what am I getting into? What is this? What is that? I really want to explore everything. Like it gives me those vibes. I need to see everything. Oh, what kind of pals can I catch? Oh, this one looks cool. Oh, this one looks cool. Like you're looking all sorts of directions. What else can I find? Like it has a very good feel to the game, and it leaves a lot to wonder, and it gives you a lot to do in this game. So I like it a lot. Go ahead. What did you want to bring up about it?
Oh, I guess I don't really play survival games often. Usually when I do, it's because like someone drugged me on there. This was the one not Pokemon game. This is the one survival game I feel like I would probably play on my own. Besides like maybe Minecraft. The thing is though, I kind of wish that it was more. It looked more like you know, like regular Pokemon, you start from your starter town and then you go off to like different towns and stuff like that. Well, let's take that to its furthest degree. In this case, the trainer also has to fight with its Pokemon. You have to gain weapons and stuff, and maybe we don't go the route of like full on bullets can kill the Pokemon unless like you're like in the wilds or something. Right, maybe we don't go that route. So like, you know, like when you're in a tournament, you're not killing the other trainers like Pokemon in the tournament. But like you're in the wild, you're having to use actual guns and stuff to help them fight, because that Pokemon is not just gonna attack just your Pokemon. It's coming after you too, and you need to be ready. And so I think I would have liked to have seen something like that happen. Still keep it where it's blue polling. Like I can still choose to do stuff while my Pokemon is attacking. But I think I would have kind of rather have seen that instead of going for the kind of building idea. I also think that they probably could have taken the Minecraft way as well, where you have the creator mode and then you have survival mode. I think that version of it would have been a lot better, even for someone like Goldsoft. I think it would have been a lot better for the average survival player, but some people like it. That's why they're still playing it, right?
So he was talking about like he dies too quick, but I think you gotta put up your stats. You gotta put up the right stats. Like early on, I was told not to put in any like points in your attack stat. Alright, we can hear you.
It's like playing another one.
So like early on, I was told not to look up any attack stats or boost any attack stats, because like your base attack does like, let's say 100 damage, and if you put like, when you level up, you get like a stat point you can put into anything. If you level up your attack stat 1, it goes from 100 to 101, so therefore you go from 100 damage to 101 damage, which is not, it's like minimal results. Like the best way to do more damage is to find a better weapon or make a better weapon, which ups your attack by like times 2 or something like that. Maybe not exact numbers. Like it's more beneficial to put your stats into like stamina, HP, how much stuff you can carry, stuff like that.
I think my router is kind of messing up. I'm on my Xbox right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you reset the router?
No, I
Yeah,
know my
plug it in, plug it back in.
laptop. No, I know my laptop usually fucks up while we're on Discord. So as soon as that shit started happening, I just came to my Xbox, and then while I could hear you talking, and then suddenly it kicked me out again, and I didn't have no connection to Wi-Fi for like 2 seconds, and then I got right back on. So I don't know. But anyway,
Alright, anything else? Would you say that you thought Hunter would like 7 Ninja?
I think he would have liked it better if it was more like how like you go from your first town and then you go to like the different like Pokemon masters and collect their badges, but like in that way you're probably gonna get attacked by the Pokemon itself. You're the trainer, but like the trainer to its furthest degree is more than likely gonna get attacked. So you're bringing weapons and stuff like that. Maybe we go the route of like the bullets don't kill in the tournaments and stuff, but when you're dealing with like Pokemon out in the wild, you're going to probably either kill them for food and like helping you build your Pokemon up. But like so let's add some survival elements to the regular Pokemon game, and let's add some like things that the trainer could do, and I think that would work better for Gold Sauce as a game
Yeah.
overall.
I agree. I completely agree. I just don't like what I was saying earlier is you know, you start playing the game and you're looking at like the blueprints of shit that you're gonna be able to build whenever you gain enough experience to, and you you find something that you really fucking like. Okay, at level 50, I really want to build this, and then 3-4 days later, you're still playing the game, and you're on like level fucking 10, and then you
What the
just give
fuck
up
did you
because
put in there, bro. Gross.
I got it. I got it.
Oh Lord, sorry.
It's gone.
Keep
It's
going,
gone.
cold sauce.
what
Go.
just happened?
He put
Do I
like
need to
a
grab my
weird ass,
phone?
put up a weird ass gif in the voice chat, and it was disgusting. What's up, Boss Brown? Oh Lord, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Do I need to go get
got
my
pretty good.
phone?
I think he deleted
It's not
it.
there now.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'll send it to
Oh,
you,
was
Cold
it?
Sauce.
Was it the Warhammer 40k Death God?
Nah.
Dude, he's
I
so
want that.
ugly. He's so ugly.
If I can find it again.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying, Super Cold Sauce?
Seabade during Baki. It was worse than that one. It was worse than that one, Gold Sauce.
I
Oh man.
I mean, that one wasn't so bad for me. I knew it was bad for Squall. Squall was having trouble sleeping that night.
Oh, I got him this time.
Squall
got him
almost
pretty
threw
good.
up on stream when he saw Yujiro do that to that guy. Let me go grab my phone right quick. Let me see what the fuck is going on here.
Let's see. So, Power
I
World.
got him.
Let's see. You know, Power World is sick as fuck. When it came out, it was one of the highest rated ones. They should have had gone with that Pokemon with guns slogan. They could have did something else, like they could have did like Pokemon for adults, or just not add Pokemon. Instead, like the little Pokemon for adults, you know, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Little pocket monsters for adults would have been cool. Alright, something that like closely resembles like the Pokemon name without using like Pokemon or something like that. That would have been good. Cause like when you say Pokemon with guns, like there was a meme I saw online and it was about Digimon. Like Digimon, like some of the evolved forms, they look like Pokemon with guns, you know.
Yeah. What I'm wondering, is that butter on top of this fish?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Squall, what are you
All I-
like freaking out over this for? Like, you never had fucking cuisine? Like, you telling me you never just put a whole fish in a pan and covered it? And
Dude, it looks disgusting, bro. Like this whole skin just blows up. Like,
dude, at least they
full of air.
cooking it. I know motherfuckers that just eat them right out the bayou.
Bro,
I'd
I've
rather
seen
eat it
that.
right out the bayou. Didn't see that.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know anybody that
Just
does
like
that
it.
shit.
See that more.
I've seen a guy turn a fish into a pipe though and smoke some pot out of him.
That's disgusting too.
Yeah,
Not
it
as
is.
disgusting as that video, but still nasty.
There's nothing nasty about this.
Oh, it's nasty. All right.
Such a little sissy, bro.
Hey, fuck you. All right. That's just gross.
Okay.
I'll bring Ball versus Gold Sauce. Put the gloves up.
What else did you say? Oh, never mind.
Look at
That's
that.
it.
That's funny.
Wait, where'd you put it? Oh, okay.
That one's
In the
just
whatever chat.
No, this is in the nerding out voice chat. What I put. But that's it for Power World, I guess. I don't know. You guys got anything else to talk about on it, or
You know, it's under some pretty controversial shit right now. Like it's the whole thing about Nintendo, which kind of sucks. I hope it doesn't lose, but it's most likely gonna lose.
It's not. It's most likely not gonna lose. That's what I was telling you earlier. Like with the big ass update that they just got and everything, they were collabing with like other big companies and shit. For those big companies to still be getting involved and working with Powwow, like while all of this shit is going on, it shows that those big companies know that what Nintendo has going on in court with Power World is literally just bullshit, and Power World's going to win in court. It's like I said a few podcasts ago, Nintendo's only bringing them to court to aggravate them. They're just wasting money so that Power World will have to waste money and time. That's it.
No.
And them getting this new update shows that. So, big win for Power World. Big fuck you to Nintendo.
So what's this new update that they got? You got details?
It's
on
a
what they
big-
did?
It's a big ass expansion. I think it's like another world or some shit. I know they have more towers with it, but I don't know if it's like a whole nother map or something. Maybe there's more monsters too, or whatever you call them, pals. It's a big update. It's not like bugs got fixed and shit like that. It's an expansion on the game.
I gotta find.
So, you know what I'm gonna say?
What's up?
You know what I'm gonna say? Look it up, JB.
I still don't know who Jamie is.
You know
Dude,
who JB is?
The
Oh,
Joe Rogan podcast, bro.
He's
Yeah. Like, come
cooked
on,
a little bit.
bro. What the
Done.
fuck?
He's done.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
watch
you
that.
don't listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. What the fuck?
Let's see. Power World's next update coming next month, and it's 6 times bigger than the survival game's last major patch. Creature capture survival game Power World's getting an update in December that will add new landmass in Palpagos Isles. This one is 6 times bigger than the last. Yesterday, the official Power World Twitter announced its upcoming 2025 collaboration with Terraria, and also suggested there was another update for the game on the way this year. Community manager Bucky gave a not so subtle clue that the news would be revealed today, and it was. We don't know the name of the new update yet, but we do know. Wait, updates have a name? But we do know it's coming in December, so it could be here in just a few days. The Power World Twitter account writes, survival on the largest, harshest, and most mysterious new island in Power World. The size of the new island is about 6 times more than Sakurajima. The pictures shared certainly do evoke a sense of intrigue. Hold on, what pictures, bro? I'll share this with you guys. These are the pictures. Looks kind of cool.
Huli Robin. Golden Beetle. Looks nice. It's like
Looks
gonna be
really
doing a
nice.
lot of mining. You might even be
Yeah, there's a lot
miner.
of mining in this game. All your tools have like a lifespan, so like if you mine for a while, like it's gonna break or something like that, and then it takes forever to mine. You can still mine with what you got, it just takes a billion years, so it's more faster to just go repair it or build a new one and start mining again.
Mhm.
very interested in seeing what the new update will have. I might hop back on the Power World and see what it's got. I still haven't explored the first update. I've been lagging on that one.
Must you have a world with someone?
Yeah, I had a
I
world
was
with
only playing single player.
I had a world with the homie. What's his name? Games with Lugu. There we go.
Ah, I got you. I thought it was the one and the other, so we're good.
Yeah, it was BGM as well. But I think the
Yeah,
owner
dude,
of the world is Games with Lugu.
Alrighty.
I'm not joining BGM's fucking world. We can make a great Nimbus debate Power World fucking world. Blaine said he'll play it.
Well, then you can box him in there. Well, he can't die, you know? Well, Power World, big event, big update, you know, that's cool and all. What we got?
So let's see what else.
You want to look up these rumors about George Lucas buying back Star Wars?
Might need to say that for Sensu Talks, actually.
Yeah, we'll save that for Sensu Talks.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I don't really want to go too much into detail on like Nintendo suing them. Other than I hope Power World comes out on top because I like the game. That's just my personal opinion on it. Let me see. We do have a few pondering topics. I think Seven Ninja, you came up with one first.
Yeah, it's in the suggestions.
Why do fighting? I'm gonna save it. All right. Pondering topic starts. Alright, we are back. So pondering topic. I'm looking at the list. Why do fighting games numbers drop so fast after a few weeks after launch? We can go around in a circle and give our opinions first. Seven Ninja, you want to go first or last since it's your topic?
Well, was my question, so I would rather you guys go first.
Alright, so your cold sauce, you want to go first or second?
Yeah, I can go first. Because there's only, you can only get so entertained with these videos. I mean, with these games. There's only so many combos that you can master. There's only so many challenges that you can find that will make you go, I gotta do this, until the game just becomes the same thing over and over and over again. It's just you against this opponent. Period. That's all it is. That's all it's been since Mortal Kombat 1 for fucking Super Nintendo. Street Fighter 1 for Super Nintendo. It's all the same shit. You're a guy fighting a guy. Every time. No matter how many different fucking ways they do it. That's what fighting games are. Whether it's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Mortal Kombat, UFC, or even WWE. A fighting game is a fighting game, and it's really fun for 2 months.
No, I think I have like an opposite opinion. I think like you're talking about why do fighting games numbers drop so fast, like in viewers or like players. That's my question.
You're asking? Okay.
I'm talking about
I'm
playing the
thinking
game
more
itself.
players.
No, I'm asking 7 Ninja to clarify the question a little bit.
I'm thinking it's more players. And the reason I say players is like you'll always find people that play do content on like fighting games, and there is a group for that. But the players usually drop faster than the video content does.
So my thoughts on why do fighting games numbers drop so fast? So like usually with games, there's a lot of hype for a lot of games. So like when there's a lot of hype, there's just guys that play these games just for the hype, or like people that play this game for the story, and like the pool of people who actually play it competitively is actually kind of small. So when the game drops after like a month or two, like all the people who play it for the story have beaten the story. All the people who got it for the hype has died. And like all that's left are the people who play games competitively, or people who are trying to get into competitively. And like the people who play it competitively are gonna stick to it, but these numbers are pretty small. And the people who are trying to get into it competitively, this area, like a month to 2 months, this is where they find out if they can actually get good in the game or not. And if they can, they're gonna stick with the game. But I would argue a lot of people find out that they're not gonna be good at the game, so they either just play other games or they'll just come back to it whenever they feel like it. That's my thoughts on it, on the players sticking to fighting games. And like I also think this is like a normal trend with a lot of games, like not just fighting games. Like, you know, Power World, there was memes out there where like, yo, the player base died after like it's only 10% of the people that are playing this, or only like 50,000 people are playing this versus like a couple million or whatever. And like I would argue the same thing with like Black Myth Wukong. I think there's a lot of hype for Block 6. I'm pretty sure that this player base is gonna die. We're gonna see some updates about this like soon. Like a lot of games that I feel it's just like normal. That's my point. Like it's a normal lifespan.
All right. The way I see it, it's kind of tagging on to both you and Cold Sauce with what you guys said. There comes a point when you're playing a fighting game that you have to ask yourself, am I going to go further than this? And what I mean by that is that you like to hop on sometimes with your buddies and play, but you know, there's other games, there's other things to do, and it's just, there's gonna come a time where you have to say, I like this game, I've beaten the story, I've done the arcade, I've unlocked the stuff, but do I still like this game? Do I still want to try to improve? And your answer to that question is going to keep you on the game. Now, we see a lot of people that play competitively, like you said before. You know, people that want to play competitively are going to keep going. A lot of people are going to play competitively, but the problem is that if a new character comes out, it completely destroys the I don't want to go with the word meta, let's go with balance. It completely destroys the balance. Sometimes a character can be too weak, it needs to be buffed. Sometimes the character doesn't have all the tools. Like, all these things can happen. And with other games, there's always something else to do. But with a fighting game, there's literally nothing other than fighting you can't do. And so the flaws of that game are start showing then. Any possible issue. This is why, like, a lot of fighting games, like that gets a little slow on the balance passes, but like a lot of fighting games may even do like balance patches faster, just simply because they're finding issues within the game over and over. And so they kind of have to. They kind of have to fix these things because literally this is all your game is. So kind of have to come out with a 10 out of 10 game immediately and hope that you've gotten every bug and you fixed everything so that everything feels kind of balanced. But if it's too balanced, then the characters feel too same. And if the characters feel too same, then everyone's just going to go around maybe the best possible character. There's not going to be any real flair, nothing really enjoyable about the game. So we kind of have to, I would look for FGC and see where that takes you. Or fighting game community. And so it's kind of like, the question is always going to come up, Even if you're the kind of person who watches it online, the person who watches tournaments and watches like videos online is going to desire to come back to the game. So the question always comes up to you, and it'll always be this: are you willing to go past this point of casualness and starting to come to this level of competitiveness? Are you willing to go past that point? If you're not, you're going to drop this game. But if you are, you're going to keep going. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's
with
what
that.
I see.
And it's like how fast is everyone else improving, and like are you keeping up with them too when the game drops?
Mhm.
Like for
Think so.
instance, Fighter Z, I dropped that game after 2 weeks because like at first like I was like keeping up, getting some wins here or there, and before I knew it, like I'm getting stuck in infinite combos and like I can't get out, and like it's not fun. Like I dropped the game because like after like 3 battles I was down for the count, like every fucking time, like just non-stop combos, and I was like, bro, this fucking sucks, bro. I don't even know how they're doing these type of combos, and like I don't get a chance to learn because as soon as I get hit once, that's it, I'm done. So I gave up that game. Like, but I know they got a new update where there's no more infinite combos, so they nicknamed the game Fighter Z2, but like it's been so long since like I played that game. I was like, I'm not even bothered going back into that game. Like if you're picking up Sparking Zero now, for instance, I don't think you're gonna get stuck with some infinite combo guys right off the bat if you're doing a ranked mode. You know, like they do a decent job of balancing who should you be fighting against in rank, like early on. Like I'm now an A class fighter in ranked, and the lowest they're putting me up against is like a B, a high, like not high tier B, low tier B fighter. So it's not bad. Other than that,
I think Sparking Zero will survive though because it's a party game first. I honestly think, and you talk about those mock battles you can, so those mock stories you can make. I think 100%. Those things are keeping the game alive, and the fact that people are maybe not playing online, but they're playing with their buddies. They're going over each other's houses, or at least they're doing custom battles against each other. And so I think, if anything, that is where you're really going to see Sparking Zero sing. And it's going to be less about because I know they're doing like a competitive tournament and stuff like that. But the reality of that situation is that, like, unless you're going to truly balance out that game, you can't really do that, at least effectively. And I think even the devs have said, like, Sparking Zero is not a competitive game.
You can't make a ranked mode and not expect it to be competitive. I think I heard that too, but like I've seen a lot of people online argue, nah, it's competitive, alright.
Players will make it competitive regardless. I think they just added that just to. Does this game have rollback? Because that's another thing we should talk about. A lot of fighting games don't have rollback, and so it's peer to peer. And so like especially Sparking Zero, not Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Fighter Z before rollback. Legitimately, any lag gets in there, and you're talking about your punches are not connecting when they should. Your combos, you throw like do a nice combo, this guy should fall right in line. Somehow you missed that thing because of the +5 delay. Versus rollback, the way I've experienced rollback, the best way I could describe it is that if you were to throw a punch into and there's some weird kind of delay, you will still possibly connect to that character, and it's possible that both of you will just simply clash and no damage. But basically it makes the fight more seamless and more accurate regardless of how much delay in there. Obviously if you're lagging super bad, it's going to be extreme, but like rollback is supposed to assist on a greater level on fixing. It's almost as if it's predicting what you're going to do and what you'll probably do. It's kind of how rollback works. Now, I'm not the greatest technician in that, but that's as far as I understand. Pause.
What I've seen in that game, if like there's any lag of some sort, it lags both parties and just slows down the gameplay, and like both are still reacting in real time. Let's see. I think Boss Brown wants to hop in. Let's see. I'll give him a roll. Yo, Ken X. All right, you should be able to hop in now. Yeah, he wants to hop in and talk about the fighting games.
Speaking of fighting games,
Yo,
your
yo.
friend LeJ is asking you to play Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
It was good.
What's up, Boss Brown?
Okay, we're good. We're safe.
Bless. Everyone all good?
Yeah, you're good.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
what's
but,
up?
I mean, I dropped what I kind of said in the chat. But look, at the end of the day, I'm someone who plays fighting games a lot, and I'm well into, as Squad would tell you, I'm well into the fighting game indie scene. I'm well into like retro fighting games and all that, and I show people all these different kind of games that are out there. And all I will say about this question or this subject being brought up is simply that mainstream fighting games are garbage these days. That's just kind of how it is. We never had these problems when Street Fighter 4 and Mortal Kombat 9 were around the way. People were playing them all the time. The netcode was absolute garbage on both games, and yet the playability stayed strong, and everything after that has just become a lot worse. So all of this stuff about it's because the online's garbage, or it's because people can only go so hardcore, and anything, all of those are irrelevant arguments. You had skill levels of all kinds on both of those games. When the game's good, people will stay. When it's not, people will leave. It's that simple, That's why back in the day, Tekken 3 was such a big game. Everyone was on it all the time. You can go back and you could pick out the big games, and regardless of the skill level, people were playing them all the time. It's just that simple.
So you're saying because like the games are just garbage now, that's why numbers are dropping on some of the newer fighting games.
Yeah, man, straight up. It's just that is how it is, If you look back at some older fighting games, you can go into like maybe the nuance of those ones, like Street Fighter 3, First Strike, somewhat popular between certain types of heads now, but before First Strike, where it became, quite like balanced out in a way, the game wasn't really that hot because the previous games in that iteration in Street Fighter 3 weren't all that, at least to most people. So there's some nuances that you can look back here and there about how games evolved and stuff like that. But yeah, generally the new games are just kind of garbage, man. So people aren't really interested in them, and that's how people go in. They're not as interested as people claim. I think a lot of people just want to make kind of excuses for these games because they see these trends without actually thinking, actually there were these games back then that had never had this issue with all these problems. So
do you feel the games are easier now versus before? Combo stuff are easier to do. Characters, in some fighting games, characters have different healths, things like that play a factor. Maybe even gimmicky stuff.
I mean, yeah, sure, the fighting games are easier. I don't think that really plays into a factor of this particular subject though. Street Fighter 4 and Mortal Kombat 9, or maybe not Mortal Kombat 9 necessarily, but Street Fighter 4 is a good example. That game is easier than some of the previous Street Fighters. It was a game where when you understood it, it was basically knock down your opponent and mix them up. There was a lot more combo. There was a lot more kind of mainstay kind of play in that game. There was a lot of jabbing. There was all kinds of combos. So easy to hard. You could just do easy ones, get the knockdowns all the time. It wasn't really that big of a deal. There is some like obviously high level stuff in Street Fighter 4, but it's not like the most difficult Street Fighter game. Not by miles, not at all. So I really don't think that how difficult a game is in any direction, whether it's easy or hard, really plays into this whole subject in any way, shape, or form.
No, I hate to keep bringing it back to like Sparking Zero, but like I wouldn't say Sparking Zero is garbage. I don't know if that's just the inner Dragon Ball fan in me, just really liking it. It's more of like there's like a instant sparking mode and an unblockable ult which with top-notch characters that can take out half your health. And that to me, like a lot of people like to spam these moves, and that it's more of like the player base taking advantage of this rather than actually like the game mechanics that makes the game like unfun to me, if that makes sense. But I'm still here playing it because my ego won't let me like not put it down, or won't let me put it down. And like I've like looked up videos on like how to like counter these things. I still see lots of people these lots of people are uploading videos on Sparking Zero. Lots of people are viewing these videos. So it's even though I saw like the online post saying like 10% of like the player base is still playing this game, I'm still seeing lots of content, lots of people viewing this content and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know if that would be an argue in favor for it being not garbage, because that's just my personal feelings on it. Like I don't think it's garbage. What would you? How would you respond to like that type of like response, Boss Brown?
So what was the kind of point you was trying to make? You trying to say that because the mechanics are geared towards a more easier experience, that it
it's more of like what makes the game garbage to me is like the players taking advantage of like this instant sparking mode that does an unblockable ult, and that's not really like. It's more of like my complaint about the game is players just using cheap tactics, and then like I'm arguing that to me it's not garbage because people are uploading lots of content on like, let's say, YouTube, and lots of people are viewing these kind of content, like how to get better at the game, stuff like that. So would that be like an argument for Sparking Zero not being garbage? I guess that's my question to you.
I mean, I don't know too much about Sparking Zero. Unfortunately, I haven't touched the game. I've seen some stuff on there. I would say that if people can see that there's like a deeper way that what you're particularly talking about, maybe it looks bad but it's actually not that deep, then it's probably more of an argument like for the game being good. I'm sorry, I'm not too sure about Sparking Zero at all, but we can like talk about something that's like more maybe in line with where we was leaving off, like Budokai 3. That Budokai in general, but Budokai 3, that is a massive game. Everyone was on that game all the time, and most people don't even know how deep that game goes. I'll show people some things that you can do on Budokai 3 and they're like, whoa, that's absolutely crazy. All the cancel combos for the people in here who know. And a lot of people on that game were just doing your jab Kamehamehas a lot of the time, innit? Trying to do the fast stack into the beam. But people, were loving it all the time. In that game, you had a whole massive part of that community playing that game that didn't even get into the deeper side of all the cancel combos and stuff like that. So
it's true. Did you guys play Budokai 3 Hunter and 7 Ninja like on PS2?
I'm remembering there's one where Cell's on the front of it, and it's like the cover art's like kind of reddish. I'm trying to remember what game that was.
That's the first Budokai.
played that one, I think.
That was the only good one. All the other ones fucking suck. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, Budokai 3 is the best DBZ game. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Y'all shut the fuck up. It's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's the best one. It's the only one worth playing.
That one was cool. It had a great concept. I actually did like Budokai 3. That one was my favorite one. Like, of all the old school ones, that to me was the top one.
Yeah, it's definitely all about Budokai 3, man. Definitely.
Let's see, because like Budokai 1 was kind of simple mechanics, like fighting mechanics. I mean, I still loved the game. Budokai 2 was like pretty much the same thing, but they kind of updated the graphics, added a couple extra like mechanics. And then Budokai 3, they like not severely changed it, but it was noticeable changes, like with the whole key system they had going on. Some of like the you punch them away, you can teleport behind them, and they added Dragon Rush. They added like some cool like key elements to like the game, like fighting wise. Oh, and then they added like dodging, where like if you tap the X button instead of hold it, like where you block, if you tap it, you start dodging it, like when you're getting hit with like physical attacks and stuff. So that
They also importantly added teleport dodging, which is extremely important. Overall, I'd say this is a good thing to bring up. Budokai 3 at all skill levels highly refined the game. Even at a basic level, the game was highly refined from Budokai 1 and Budokai 2. And that's why Budokai 3 has just kind of become the mainstay and the staple. Even over number 4, I forgot what number 4 is called now. Infinite World, that's it. Infinite World. Even over Infinite World, even over all the other Budokai games that came after that, One Burst Limit and all of that, Budokai 3 had the Budokai formula, which obviously everybody liked, and it just it became the staple by being the most refined in the gameplay, without going too far away from the formula that it originally made.
Yeah, I'm not. Seven Ninja, I think you had something. I'll go after you.
I was just saying I played that. I remember the first one. That's pretty much. What I did say though was like that block dodging thing you're talking about. It was in the first one. I learned that late on when I was playing that game.
Was it? I
He
played
said
those
tapping the block.
Budokai
Yeah.
dodging. I played those original Budokai games like religiously. I don't remember the dodging in.
And you
Budokai
can
1.
I think you had to like hold X and then like press like left or right on the D-pad. You could start charging.
Yes, hold X and double tap backwards to charge your key. But Budokai 3, like my only complaint was about this game was it came out on PS2. Like I would love to play this game online against other people. Like I wish this was the remake that came out instead of Tenkaichi 4 Sparking Zero. Like I'm not complaining. Like Sparking Zero like is pretty cool. But I would love to see Budokai 4 come out on like the current generation of gaming, so we can see like I want to play other people with like this old school fighting style, you know. It's Budokai 3, Tilgorn versus Breakthrough Cell.
Yeah, I dropped a little a Budokai match of like, you know, what modern Budokai 3 looks like, if you want to bring it up on the screen on your stream.
Maybe not. I don't want to get hit with a possible.
You don't have to.
copyright
You don't have
strike.
to. I'm just saying, if you wanted to show it, you can. I know these guys anyway. These I know all these guys. I've shown you now. I know these guys. These are all in a Budokai channel that I'm a part of, and they're actually working on a Budokai 3 mod that's going to be basically Budokai 4, trying to refine the game further into the they've already kind of. You can play a lot of these old retro games online now with actual proper rollback netcode and stuff, so this would be no exception, essentially.
So you can play online against others in this thing.
Yeah, of course you can, man. Yeah. yeah, you just gotta have the right. There's a couple of emulators that you can play. I think you can even play up to like PS. Oh yeah, you can definitely play up to PlayStation games with the rollback netcode, but I'm pretty sure you can do 2 or 3 as well. So yeah, it's slowly getting it, man.
That is sick. All
Moss
right, I'm
Brown,
definitely gonna
if
have to
you
check
do
that.
know, Moss Brown, if you do know, please explain rollback and as good as you can to the audience. I don't think I did that great of a job.
So rollback netcode. It's I don't
Give an example.
want to say it 'cause I don't want to like say it and it's actually wrong. But the best way that I can explain it in my head, or essentially as it works, is that when there is ever a form of like a lag issue or whatever, it will re-register what happened. It will kind of roll it back and re-register what happened, so you can actually see deal with the outcome properly, and it goes over any kind of glitchy gameplay and stuff like that. It's not a perfect system, but it works so much better than delay-based netcode, which is generally what most games use.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Yeah, cause I've probably never experienced a rollback before. Like when you one example I'll bring up is like Brawlhalla, for an example. I play that game pretty often. It's like a Super Smash Bros. Game, 2D platform fighting game. Like if you lag, it just skips, and like you see the end result of what happened. That's pretty much it. You don't. From what it sounds like, rollback is it actually goes back and shows you what happened so far.
Yeah, that's
Moss Brown, I've got a question
yeah,
for
somewhat
you.
like it. Yeah, hit me up, man. Talk to me.
Is Super Smash Bros. A fighting game? Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Oh, it always comes up. Is it a fighting game? It obviously is at the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter if it's a platform fight or whatnot. It's no different from saying, is Tekken a fighting game because it's a 3D fighting game, and the real fighting games are 2D fighting games. Of course, it's a fighting game. You know, people want to just say, oh, it's a party game because it's party mechanics and it was made to be a party game rather than being played as a serious fighting game. But you know, you could say that about any game that comes out as a fighting game. It's made with fighting game in mind, of a versus thing. Even if it's like you can have 4 people on the screen, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. There's indie fighting games now, 2D indie fighting games where you can play with 4 people on the screen. So is that not a fighting game? It's just silly arguments. At the end of the day, you either like those type of games or you don't. But I would say that Smash is clearly a fighting game. Even if you go, oh well, we'll just throw in all the items and mechanics, and like, go on then. If that's how you want to play it, you don't want to play it the way that other people are playing it, that's fine. It doesn't change exactly what the game is. You can still do all the same tech in the all items mode and multiple people mode that you can in the 1v1 no items mode. So whatever in it, you know what I mean? And I'm not a Smash fan either. I'm not a big Smash fan anyway. Really, play Smash like that. But that's just my opinion on it.
Gotcha.
Why? What's your opinion on it, Seven Ninja? Is it a fighting game or not?
I'd call it a fighting game. It's just I know that's a big thing for like the fighting game community, so I wanted to see what he would say. All right. My next question for you is, what is your favorite fighting game as of today?
What's my favorite fighting game?
What's your favorite one?
Oh,
Said it earlier. Tekken.
No, Tekken's not my favorite. That's a tough question, and also a question that I'm not sure there's point in answering, because I play a lot of indie games, and to be honest, any of those games could take my top spot as my favourite fighting game right now. And besides Type Wild, I don't think anyone here would know any of the other. People here might not know the other indie games. Only I know Squall knows, because he's actually seen me stream with me playing that game. But yes, unfortunately, it's one that I can't answer right now. Sorry about that.
I got a good question. What about like what type of fighting game do you like? Like, you got the 2D fighter game like Street Fighter, you got the 3D fighter game like Tekken, and then you got like the 2D platformer like Super Smash Bros. Like, which type of fighting game do you prefer playing?
2D is 100% my preference. That's my preference out of a lot. That's not to say that I don't enjoy or like the other games. As an example, in terms of as a platform fighter, absolutely love Final Fantasy Dissidia Duodissum. Not NT, not the newest one, the one previous one, the one that's back on PSP. That game is lit. That game's incredible.
Pretty small penis. What about you guys?
Wow.
What, PSP? Pretty small penis. You guys never heard that one?
Nah, I heard that one. That's crazy.
That's what people used to joke around with me when I had one. Like, yeah, I got a pretty small. I got a PSP. They're like, you got a pretty small penis.
Nah. You
I
can't be
on before replay. That's crazy.
What about
Yeah,
107 Ninja? What type of fighting games would you prefer, or do you prefer?
Honestly, it will always come back to Tekken. Tekken has I had a buddy that I used to like we played many fighting games, but like the one fighting game I will always come back to would have to be Tekken. Now, which specific Tekken? The last one I played was Tekken 7. When I get Tekken 8, I'll probably try it out for a little bit, but I don't know if that guy is going to be on there. But if I can find me somebody, it's probably going to be Tekken 8 when I get Tekken 8. So for right now, it's Tekken 7.
Why Tekken 7 over the previous iterations? Just
So I have played 3. I had played 1, but that was kind of when I was a kid. I played some of 4 and 5. I had 6 on the PS3, and I liked 6, but like I really got competitively into 7. So really, because I became competitive for 7, I would say that's my favorite.
right. Okay.
I did play Revolutions. I didn't get too deep in there, but I remember you had like special powers and stuff in there. I thought it was kind of cool, but competitive wise, I probably wouldn't have went that route.
Was Revolutions, was that the free one that was on PS3 back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was sick. I played that one. And then another notable Tekken one that I really liked was Tekken. Was it the team tag, double tag? You have 2 players.
There's 2 of them
All
actually.
of it, yeah. There's 1 and 2. 2 I wasn't a big fan of. Although I know some people did. But Tekken Tag 1 was actually really live. I think a lot of people missed out on that one, because that one was basically like Tekken 3 but better. So it's just actually go back and look at it now. It was actually a really, really solid game. They made a lot of really good changes to the characters in that game as well.
There's also a Street Fighter X Tekken, but I wouldn't count the Tekken game. More of a Street Fighter.
Alright, Hunter, you're up.
Yeah, quite an underrated game actually. That Street Fighter X Tekken. Unfortunately, the monetization side of it kind of killed the game for people, so not a lot of people gave it a chance.
Gotcha. Mr. Brown.
I'm gonna go with the greatest fighting game of all time, Super Smash Bros. Melee on GameCube.
So you're more of a 2D platformer fighter type of guy.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna go more in depth on that. If it's just all fighting games, that I'm choosing from, I'm going with Super Smash Bros. Melee. If we're talking about the 1v1 cameras on the side all the time, fucking kind of games, then I'm going with Mortal Kombat X. And if we're talking fighting games where you have more three-dimensional movement, where you can move around like in a boxing ring or some shit like that, I'm going with the WWE 2K13 game. And if we're going three-dimensional, but I also get to fly around and have special powers, I'm going with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
I already knew he was going with that one. But like, I meant like, what type of genre fighting game would you prefer over the rest? Like 2D platformer, 2D like Street Fighter, 3D like Tekken, 3D fighter like Tekken, I should say.
Honestly, my least favorite is the kind like Xenoverse 2, because so often I'll try to go attack my opponent, and if they just keep backing up, I just keep missing, and it's fucking aggravating. So, yeah, I mean, with fighting games, I'm going with more of the like Super Smash Bros. Just give me left and right and a bunch of different moves to go. But I don't like Super Smash Bros. Is the only one that does it like that. That's good. Like, they got other games like Brawlhalla and Multiverses or whatever it's called, and they all fucking suck. Like, they actually suck. Like, I try to play them, and they're literally just straight up trash. There's like one attack button on Multiverses, and there's two attack buttons on fucking Brawlhalla. It's just aggravating, and it's stupid, and it's not fun. And it can't be fun because there's not enough shit to do in the game that can make it fun. So, yeah, fuck those games.
I like your list, man. Anyway, it's a wild list. I like it. Out there.
What's up?
No, I like this list of games that he listed off. It's a wild list, man.
I like those games too. He's talking about it. He's talking shit about our game, Seven Ninja.
Nah. You're the Brawlhalla guy.
You're the
Brawlhalla
Multiverses guy. You had the what 700 wins badge or whatever,
bro. And why did they? I forgot why they did that. Like there was the original version, and they like, brought it back. I don't even really feel like much changed, honestly. Just kind of the network.
I wish PlayStation All Stars had more polish into it.
Bro,
that game actually had some interesting ideas. It really did. There was a lot of things I enjoyed about that game that could have been serious.
Yeah, I played that game hardcore, bro.
That was a Sly Cooper main and a Nathan Drake main on that game. It was beautiful.
Oh, I hated Nathan
Don't-
Drakes, bro.
Don't fight a good Kratos or a good Dante though. Oh my god. Oh boy. That was a tough time.
I like Dante, but he was too combo based. I hated combos. I was Cole McGrath, not
Which
the
one?
evil one, the good one. I really liked the good one. He was sick as fuck to use to me.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your main in PlayStation All Stars? Fox Brown. Oh, there he is.
He's back.
Who's your main in PlayStation All Stars?
I didn't really main anyone, if I'm being honest with you. I probably played Sweet Tooth the most. I just couldn't. I find it hard in fighting games to gravitate towards a character sometimes. I have like a very specific taste based on the specific mechanics of the game That's generally what I'm like. So you might see me play one character one game, you think, oh, I like that type of character, and then you see you choose an entirely different type of character, and you're like, what? So yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's all based. It's all on a game-on-game basis, and unfortunately, All Stars was one of those games where I really didn't find a character that I was like, yeah, that's me. I feel that character for that game. But I did enjoy it for the time I did play it. I just enjoyed, like I said, about with the characters.
I guess my next question is, how do you feel about For Honor? And do you still play it?
What's that question for me?
Yeah, for you, Boss Brown.
I didn't really play much For Honor, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't remember this game.
I still haven't seen an image yet that showed it. For Honor for me is like, it's kind of like League to me. For Honor's energy reminds me of League, and I haven't even played League, but I've heard the stories. And it's just one of those games where, like, you play it and you're like, at first you're like, okay, it's fun. And then at some point you start hating the game, but this is the only game that's like that game. And since no other games like that, you kind of have to stay there. And so it kind of sucks you in for like maybe 6 to 8 months. And around that period, you're like, why am I so hateful? So angry all the time. And then like after that, I have to like, I'll stop. And then like, because like I have legitimately thought about this multiple times in the span of like this month. I'm just thinking like, should I go back to For Honor? And I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. So I like the game though. Conceptually wise, characters are fun. I'm so tired of my Shinobi getting nerfed, but you know, it is what it is.
This looks like Chivalry too, a little bit.
No, don't compare it to Chivalry. I played Chivalry. Chivalry's trash.
Damn, that's
Is
a lot of people like that game.
is For Honor like is it that actually like a fighting game though, or is that more of like a hack and slash?
Looks more like
It's,
hack and slash ish.
Yeah,
It's more
that's
like
what
a
I'm
fighting
thinking.
game in the sense of parries, dodges, there are.
You can have
I want to.
you can have that stuff in
but
hack and slash.
okay.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
And so like I want to say there is combos, but like there's just like some moves that have like a word. Some moves are just natural combos versus some moves like you kind of have to fake someone and then going for another striker. Basically just fakes.
Oh,
I consider it a fighting game. I'm just not sure if it's always altogether called one.
And I technically, yeah.
Sounds like you're calling Dark Souls a fighting game.
yeah, definitely not a fighting game. Definitely not a fighting game. It's a hack and slash. Like I think
Yeah,
people
I agree
think the hack and
with
slash.
Stiff Chocolate. It's a hack and
Yeah.
slash.
But people hear the hack and slash label and instantly think that because it's hack and slash, it's immediately a non-competitive game. It's just a kind of like, bash your head around it. That's not what it necessarily means. Things like the Souls games are what you would say are more somewhat competitive hack and slash games. For me personally, although I wasn't a big fan of, or I haven't played a lot of For Honor, and I'm not like the biggest fan of Chivalry. I played a game known as Pirates versus Vikings versus Knights, PvK, and that is a hardcore game, and that is a hack and slash competitive game where you face people that's around, kind of like you've got different game modes where you fight each other all the time, and it's a great game, and it's super hard. It was like real hardcore back in the day. It's still about now, but there's not as many people out. But yeah, if you want to download the game, I think it's free. It's free to play. I'm pretty sure. So I think you can just download it on Steam.
Which game?
Pirates versus Vikings versus Knights, PvK.
Oh, Pirates.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this before.
that came up for Chivalry and all of that.
Is it crossplay?
Think of it as a what's that FPS game that's famous on Steam? Team Fortress. Think of it as Team Fortress, but as a hack and slash game.
Oh, Pirates, Vikings, and Knights. Is that the same game?
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I saw two different things online: Pirates versus Vikings, and then Pirates, Vikings, and Knights too. But yeah, it looks like it's crossplay. Interesting. Man.
But yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Boss Brown.
no, you say what you're saying, and I'll go for it.
I would consider a hack and slash kind of like a sub, like, category of fighting, like sub slash separated from fighting. Cause like when I think of fighting, I think of like hitting, punching and stuff like that. Hack and slash, I think of like Devil May Cry. Like technically, yes, it does have fighting and stuff like that, but like when it comes to like meta mechanics and stuff like that, like I mean, I didn't really give Dark Souls too much of a try, so I can't say if it has meta or not. I'm sure it does. But when I think of like Devil May Cry, there's not much of a meta in that game, and like there's like a little bit meta in like games like Chivalry 2. I would like. I mean, I've played a little bit more Chivalry 2, and I could say there's more meta in it than Devil May Cry type of hack and slash. But like when it comes to like actual fighting games like Super Smash, Brawlhalla, Multiverses, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Tekken, there's a lot more meta into that game. There's a lot more combos you gotta learn. Like there's a lot more timing, hitboxes, stuff like that you gotta learn on like in experience and to really react to these things. When it comes to like For Honor, I don't know if there's like a meta in that. Like Seven Ninja, you probably have better like take on like if it has a meta or not. But I'll let you answer that after Boss Brown goes. All right, Boss Brown, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna, because obviously I was just gonna bring it back to the subject. So I was just gonna say, because obviously I've made my thoughts known on it, but I thought just to be, nuanced, I would say that these new age games can be bad for certain reasons or multiple reasons. I didn't want to just think, I'm just saying a game is bad just because there's several reasons why people might not take the kind of liking to them that they have at the previous games. If you look at Street Fighter 5, we're on Street Fighter 6, I've got Street Fighter 5 that failed abysmally with the community for various reasons, from initial release of having no modes of play to a complete, killing off of what people would consider the rebuilt Street Fighter system from 4, all kinds of stuff. That came towards being a bad game and being kind of known as the bad Street Fighter. So yeah, I just wanted to say, just for the nuance side of it, there could be multiple reasons, multiple things of why new age fighting games tend to be bad, or mainstream fighting games tend to be bad right now currently.
Alright, Seven Ninja, go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm actually got a little bit lost on what you're talking about. What was I gonna say?
Did For Honor have like a meta in it that like, because like when I think of like hack and slash games, there's not much of a meta behind the games. Like I'm talking about like meta, like what kind of stuff do you need to learn to get better beyond like the basic surface level of like fighting mechanics?
Fundamentals. The fundamentals are
That's
actually
not what you said.
It's like deeper than that. It's deeper than the fundamentals. Like you gotta learn like when to teleport, like in Sparking Zero at certain like ultimate moves, or what moves can you block, what moves can you not block. Like deeper stuff, like knowledge of the fighting game. Like, is there stuff like that on For Honor?
Well, to start off with, and that also depends on if you're playing 4v4 modes or not. Well, Wukong's a bit different. But in For Honor, right? It really depends on how hard they hit a character. Peacekeeper would have been strong for years. But then they started nerfing Bleed. Revenge was a really big problem for especially during the start. Revenge used to be a really big problem. And to explain Revenge, it's your way to fight multiple people. If multiple people are just swinging on you, you'll build a Revenge meter. They can still kind of damage you until you have the Revenge shield on. But it's your job to pop it. So you pop it, it does an automatic parry if they're already swinging, and they cannot stop the swing, and it'll cause them to fall back on their backs, and you do extra damage as well as, you have that shielding on. You also have Hyper Armor on. Now, Hyper Armor, there are some characters, I'm thinking specifically of Berserker, where his light attacks look like his heavy attacks. The heavy attacks are just fast enough that they look like that. And you can also cancel those heavy attacks into a overhead of heavy attack that's also Hyper Armor. I think you can cancel that too, if I'm not mistaken. But you can't basically the fundamentals will carry you very far. If you're really good at fundamentals, you can actually fight even the best players. It's just the best characters, the best players. It's really easy to do that. The problem, more or less, is that some characters are disparaged in a sense of maybe they went a little too hard this time on this patch. And I know specifically my favorite character, Shinobi. For at least about, I want to say 2 years, I experienced where he was literally the worst character in the game. Everything about his kit was focused on going for let's call it a force command grab. Legitimately, you had to go for this. If you wanted to get max damage, you had to go for this command grab. And in that command grab, it's easy to escape it. There's no kind of tracking. There's no kind of unblockables. There's nothing special here. All the new characters are getting these kind of undodgeable abilities. All these characters are getting unblockable abilities. You are literally stuck with this kind of basic character. And they also remove the bleed that he gets as well. So
yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, he also had the ability to throw his Kama at you, and this is the Kasarigama he had. He was able to throw his Kama at you, and this is because he was kind of the only real range character. But if they parried the Kama, you would fall on your back, and that basically kills you because you got super low health compared to most assassins. I would say that while the meta does shift, assassins, at least in the early days, were the strongest. Now it's more about characters that have the ability to switch into Hyper Armor and into either an all guard or a easy guarding ability. There's also something where you can counter an attack. Let's say you got your shield up, right, in a certain direction. If you were to, let's say, swing in that direction and they're swinging at the same way, at the same time, they will not. It won't be a parry or anything. They will outright take over your attack and get an unblockable attack. So there's timing. There's fakes. There's kind of I want to go with punish, but guard breaks are really the only punishes in that game. And even then, guard breaks are not guaranteed.
Yeah, sounds
There is a meta. I don't know what it is right now. As of right now, I don't know what it is right now. But at least what I was talking about during that time, I know for a fact Shinobi was the worst. And I remember Black Prior and not Wukong, Berserker, and I think it was either the girl with the glaive, the Naginata, or it was the Valkyrie that was really strong. But
I think Boss Brown, you had something.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, does For Honor have omnidirectional attacking and blocking and stuff?
So they've got 3 different ways to go. You got left, you got right, and you got up. And these are the directions you can block. You can attack in these directions. There is some where you could just straight up thrust at the target, but those are usually special moves that will be called out by either a fire attack or something will show up on you and you'll know that this is that move. But usually there's also bashes. You got the sword or weapon
I think
attack,
he
and then you have
means
bastion.
the character standing there and like enemies coming from all sides, right?
No. Ninja was kind of like on the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the right thing. Yeah, I just wanted to know because I think we're going like into like slash kind of like complexity mechanics and in PvK. You've got like a 5-directional basically attacks. You've got top, down, left, right, middle. I think something like that, and you've got a blocking system. And if you block, just the hit hits you, you get parry, etc. And then on top of that, you've only got one attack button, but obviously you can attack in those 5 different positions. And then from there, you've got a charge attack, which obviously you can use to break through guard, cause maximum damage. You get like combo points by hitting people multiple times, stuff like that. You actually get a combo meter, which is something you could do. You could do combos in that game before, but they've recently added like a meter on there, so you can see how many combo points you actually got going on there, and it kind of builds up into an ultimate. I'm just trying to get a kind of idea of how close For Honor is to PvK, because I know that Chivalry. I don't want to say they took a lot of stuff from PvK, but there's a lot of like similar stuff in that game to PvK. Just a few less things.
Now, if we are going to talk about like the 4v4 mode, now 4v4 is kind of where they give more of they're like accessory abilities, like so like you can't naturally just shoot a crossbow out of a peacekeeper. You can't naturally just throw bombs and stuff like that. That's usually like a cooldown ability that you could do, but that's only in the 4v4 modes. 4v4 as in Dominion, there is one with kind of like TDM. There's kind of something for Reach is kind of like sieging an area. So like one team kind of holds the other side back and the other side tries to push forward. You've got like this I'm looking for the word. Basically, you have a ram and you ram the gates. And you got to protect that as one side while the other side tries to destroy it. We're using either the fire or the minions that are in the field. And if we're talking about breach minions, those things hurt. Ask me a question, maybe I'll be able to answer it.
It does sound like there is a lot of meta from what you explained. Now just my question is, does meta mean fighting? Like boost it up to fighting, or does it bring it out of the hack and slash category for me? That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't think meta really matters of whether it's classed as a fighting game or not. I think it's what type of meta is it going to make it considered that way. There's a hack and slash meta, and that is, to be fair, quite a newish thing. I think hack and slash were a bit more face rolly back in the day. But yeah, there is a meta that is clearly for hack and slash, and then there is clearly what is a fighting game meta. And if you've got a lot of simple fighting games out there, they have their own meta as well, you know. I was thinking of one that's on Steam. It's funny, we was talking about the Power World lawsuit with Pokemon thing, and instantly in my head I thought of there's a guy who made a game called Yomi. Your only move is hustle. And
oh yeah, I know that game.
Well, he was threatened to be sued by a guy who made a card game called Yomi, which he also made into a fighting game, which he had no grounds to even attempt on. And the Yomi guy should never have backed down from it, but that's a whole different story. But that guy's fighting game is a really simple fighting game. It's not a good fighting game, but yeah, that's a simple fighting game, and it has a fighting game meta on it. So,
you think your only move is hustle is a fighting game?
I could see it. It's kind of more played out like by turns, but like in the end, you can see the whole battle.
I wasn't referring to Yomi. I know that's a bit more controversial because it's like a turn-based fighting game. It's very strange. I was actually referring to the guy who had the card game who was gonna sue the guy who made Your Only Move Is Hustle. He's got a fighting game of his card game, but I forget what that game's called.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this game was a pretty cool game. I liked Your Only Move Is Hustle. Other than that, I don't really have too much more to say. Does anyone got any final thoughts on why fighting game numbers dropped so fast after a few weeks after launch?
I'm good. Cold off.
No.
Alright, Boss Brown, got any final thoughts?
I think I will say, I think it's very difficult to make a good mainstream fighting game. I think there is a lot of pressure making it. I think every part of it is expected to be good. I played, as I said, the gameplay of my indie games are fantastic. I enjoy them because the gameplay is fantastic. It doesn't mean they're perfect in every single way. Type Wild, for instance, is not perfect in every single way. It has its issues. And I think if a fighting game isn't top notch of the mainstream side of it, it will just fall off very, very quickly, and I think it is a very difficult thing to do. KOF 15 is probably quite a really good fighting game. It's not like it's got the biggest player base or anything like that. So yeah, I thought I'll just add that in there. It's probably very difficult for a mainstream game to keep their numbers quite high without making an absolutely spot-on spanking game. When you talk about Street Fighter 4 or Mortal Kombat 9 or Tekken 3 or whatever, these were absolutely top of the range games in every single conceivable way. So I just think at the same time, as much as I do give these games a lot of ish for being crap on doing certain things wrong, it is difficult to actually make mainstream fighting games that good.
My final... Oh, go ahead, Seven Ninja.
Before we finish this topic, Boss Brown, you mentioned you had been playing some indie games. Just for the audience, if you want to mention a couple of indie games that you've been playing or that you have some faith in, that'd be good.
If you want some recommendations of indie games to download, I can give you some. Or one of the new ones, Pokemon Type Wild, because I know everyone has Pokemon on here. I've got a few videos of me playing that on the channel. If anyone wants to have a look at what that looks like. Very interesting game. It's kind of like Pokemon Street Fighter First Strike. It's got all its own mechanics. There's like 9 characters. Each character has 3 of their own unique assets. That's the gameplay experience of it's just amazing. Other games, I've got someone who's made their own kind of Street Fighter game called Street Fighter All Stars. You can type that in, you can download it. Again, the gameplay is absolutely fantastic on that. Everyone I show it to, like fighting gamers, say this is what Street Fighter 6 should have been like in terms of gameplay. I don't even think no one actually thinks 6 is that bad for gameplay, but yeah, this game they really got it right. They took the kind of best mechanics from other Street Fighter games, put it all into that one. They kind of made the best version of the characters that they have ever been, and they've added their own kind of flavour. The most newest thing that they added of their unique flavour in there is they took the old formula of beat 'em up games, desperation moves, where you press 2 buttons and you do like an invincible move. They took that and actually gave each character in that Street Fighter All Stars game one of those type of moves that cost health, but you only press 2 buttons to use it. And it adds a lot of really interesting playability to the game, playing around it and using around each character. Really recommend that one. That's coming up to the guys are going to release the finalish version of that. I'm helping Iron out, or I'm saying giving him a few advice or things to help him iron out that game. But yeah, going down, I'll load that on Street Fighter All Stars. Another one, Last Bout Stars Will Clash. That's another game you can just go and download. In my opinion, it's the Street Fighter 2 of the modern age. It's just, it's an extremely, really well made game. I will be playing some of these on my channel at some point. The only issue with these games I'm mentioning are there's not like great like online choice with those ones. If you're looking for something like better online, if you're a fan of like something like Samurai Showdown, there's a game where you can get on Steam called Vanguard Princess. Very good game. It's anime girls basically in Samurai Showdown format. But the gameplay, I would say, is vastly superior.
love that.
To Samurai Showdown. You love that. Good. Yeah. Other games with good online. Punch Planet. Guys always continuously working on that game. It's a sci-fi fighting game. The guys creating the whole kind of lore around it. Really good netcode. They were a big fan of Street Fighter 4. They've kind of done like something similar gameplay mechanics to Street Fighter 4, but kind of affected it in a way. It plays really nice. I could continue on. I'll tell you what, I will mention Super Crazy Jam by a guy called Wu. That game's absolutely awesome. I'm just kind of like get more into it myself. It's basically a collection of like the most famous characters that you can think of as a fighting game. It's got Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. It's got Leon from Resident Evil. It's got Goku in there. The gameplay
I was gonna play it.
It's like King of Fighters, but done really, really well. The guys really thought about the mechanics in there. You've got a next season coming out as well. They've even added he's on the way out in the next version, Anderson Silva from UFC.
Holy shit!
sick.
I'm playing it. How do I play this?
Honestly,
Is this on Xbox?
Crazy Jam is probably the biggest fantasy indie fighting game that you can play. Definitely worth going and downloading, guys. It's free. The guy's called WOU Woo on YouTube if you want to check out his channel. Hot game.
That's sick. I definitely want to check this one out for sure. And that
Oh, Lord.
Princess one. Bro, they got Kratos. They got what's his name? Snake from Metal Gear Solid. They got Dante. They got Pickle Rick.
They got
bro.
Pickle
Come
Rick?
on now.
Oh, because we're all anime fans as well. I best just mention it because otherwise people. I don't know who's a fan of One Piece. One Piece.
Oh, Lord.
The
no.
That's Hunter right there.
Bad boy fighting game. One Piece fighting adventure. You can find that online. That's free download. Absolutely solid. If you're a One Piece fan, you'll be like, what in the world? If you're a fighting game fan, it's hot. It's hot. Trust me. It's got what it needs in there. Definitely recommend that one. But like I said, I could carry on this, man, because I'm really into my indie stuff. You know what I mean? If you're a DBZ fan and you haven't played it, you must have played it by now. If not, can you call yourself a fan? Hyper Dragon Ball Z, really good fighting game. You can just go and download that. Absolutely incredible game.
Hyper Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, man. Hyper Dragon Ball Z, yeah.
Notice how I didn't pull up the One Piece one.
What's the One Piece one called? I didn't hear the name of that one.
It's called One Piece Fighting Adventure.
Is it on Xbox?
That's right. Nah, it's
No. It's a PC game. You can just download it for free.
This doesn't look like it's too hard on your hardware though, so I think Secret Cold Sauce you might be able to play on your laptop. Maybe.
I can't even run
like
fucking Discord on my laptop.
Yeah, these games are not. These games do not hit your hardware very hard at all. So if you're just
like
downloading.
I think Discord is kind of heavy, a little heavy on your PC. Like especially when you're doing like you're showing your camera. So like it might be like this might run like do less like stress on your hardware than like Discord.
I could probably play that game on a potato computer. Matter of fact, that's Mugen. Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. All right. Final question for Boss Brown. Have you ever played Salty Bet? Or do you know what I'm talking about?
Have I ever placed what? Have I ever put money on Salty Bet?
Have you ever played Salty Bet? I think I told you about this goal.
Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm confusing it with something else. I thought you meant the kind of Mugen betting thing. That
Yeah,
they do,
you know what
but
I'm talking
it's
about.
something else. Oh, that is what
You know
you're
what I'm
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched it. I watched it like I haven't watched it for ages, but I did watch it a couple of times. I've always found it interesting. But personally, I don't know quite understand how it works. But personally, I've never put any money in it or like played the characters on it. I don't quite know how it works. I always just thought it was, two random characters CPU. I mean, you probably know much more about something better than I do.
I could give it a brief summary if you want. Basically, it's fake money. If you lose nothing. You just gotta sign in. But if you lose nothing. So you just get reset to like maybe 500 to 600 like salty cash, and you just bet on whoever. Don't bet on JoJo and don't bet on Dragon Ball Z. You should be all right.
What?
If you don't bet on Goku, yeah. Don't bet on Goku. But
I don't like this game.
Cute. Uh-huh.
You can always bet on Goku. That motherfucker always comes through.
He always pulls out a new form or something at the end of the day.
But they got like characters, like they got normal characters you fight in games, and you got like characters that are straight up modded, where like they'll just one tap your other character, like when pretty much at the start of the match or before the match even starts. Matter of fact.
I guess I'll just mention on Steam, because I don't know how big everyone's minds are when it comes to fighting games, but if you're looking for other fighting games to play online, well, there's Grand Blue Fantasy, which is actually a mainstream game and is actually quite sizable with quite a few people playing it. And then another one, if you want something a little different, is called Idol Showdown. Now, I don't know much about the what you call them again? What would you call those streamers that have like anime avatars?
YouTubers.
VTubers, yeah. This Idol Showdown is basically a fighting game about VTubers. There's actual VTuber characters as the characters. You can play as them, and apparently it's a really, really good game. It's one of the highest rated fighting games actually on Steam, I think. So I don't know if anyone's interested in VTubers, but apparently the Idol Showdown is a pretty good game.
Oh, Idol. That seems kind of cool.
Okay.
VTubers are awesome. Because Emiru likes them.
Oh Lord.
There's also a Brony fighting game. I forget what it's called.
I've heard about that one.
It's absolutely fantastic, and to be fair, it does look really good.
Alright, well, I think here's a good time to cut it off. Yeah, we learned a lot about some fighting games. I definitely want to check out Super Crazy Jam. I forgot what that One Piece one is, but Hunter, you should definitely check that one out.
One Piece Fighting Adventure. Yeah.
One Piece
Hot
Fighting.
games.
One Piece. I'm gonna put it in the Discord chat. One Piece Fighting Adventure. I'm gonna leave it there for Hunter to check out.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. So alright. So we're gonna end it here. So plug your socials one last time. If you got any announcements, say your announcements. And then Seven Ninja. Outro question. Pull it up, Jamie. We need one.
You trying to get me, right? Do you think you could survive in the Fallout universe?
Okay. Alright, so I am your host, Squall Rush. I got the link tree in the description or in my bio, so check it out if you want to follow my other platforms I'll be posting on. I got the Buy Me a Coffee account if there's no donate button from wherever you're watching. Let's see, and then announcements. I got the backup accounts in my link tree for like my YouTube channels, just in case I get some more copyright strikes for whatever reason. What else? I got the reverse Nuzlocke I'm doing, so be on the lookout for those videos. I got one that I just posted this morning, so that should be interesting if you're interested in that. And I got the anime sessions video that I'm going to be posting either tomorrow. I think it's going to be like in 2 days from now. So when did L find out that Light was Kira? So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. Other than that, would I be able to find, or would I be able to survive the Fallout universe? I'll go on a limb and say no. I'm a very sheltered city kid with no real survival skills. Like if you watch that movie Castle in the Sky, that kid had way more survival skills than I do for sure. To put that lightly. Let's see. I think it was Secret Cold Sauce first last time on the intros, so we'll start with Seven Ninja, Boss Brown, then Cold Sauce last. Alright, take it away, Seven Ninja.
You scared the fuck out of me just now, bro.
I had to get him. Oh, guys, it's 7 Find me on Game.me and Rumble. It should lead you back to my Rumble channel. You know, the newest thing that we're going to be doing soon, if not today, tomorrow, is going to be looking at episode 9 of Dan to Dan, doing the review of that one. And outside of that, there's a coffee account you guys can check out, or my Discord inside of my description on the 7 Rumble. Check it out there if you want to support your boy or help me build my community. Regardless, could I survive in the Fallout universe? I have experience, with carpentry and like building things. So if someone needs some work, I could probably get some work done. You know, I've got experience with it. I have some ideas. You know, so I think like when it comes to just being able to, and I also do a handyman job. So I have a couple of things that I've had to do that I could probably, if I had to get started, even if it's just amateur, I could probably do a pretty good job, I think. So I think I'd survive on the basis of my skill set.
Huh?
We know what Mr. Hunter Bro gonna say, you know? It's like
Shots fired. Alright, Boss Brown, so go ahead and plug your socials for all the viewers out there. And then if you got any new announcements, like anything you're working on or gonna start streaming or something soon, let us know. And then the outro question will be, can you survive in Fallout universe?
All I've got right now is my Rumble channel, Boss Brown. Sound for listening to my ramblings. It's 3 AM here. It's been a long couple of days for me, so I'm tired. So sorry if I didn't make sense here and there. Certified gaming badman. If you on my channel, I'll be doing a lot of fighting game stuff, a lot of my indie stuff. Not just fighting games, but fighting game related things. There's a I got video of a fighting game card game that my brethren in Brazil has made. So check that out if you want to see something a little different than that. You want to talk to me about fighting games, just holler at me, let me know. A lot of chatting. I want to get more chatting to me in the streaming thing. I've only kind of just started the streaming side of it. Can I survive the Fallout world? My bomber glove bad man. So 100%. That's it.
Sick. Alright. Secret Cold Sauce.
What's the secret?
Hunter.
Bro.
Either ZFK or damn, he missed the outros. That sucks. I think his internet crap.
He said he got scared, maybe he got a heart attack or something.
About it.
That's a good
You
one.
can find him on Hunter on Tick. So it's on TikTok. Look up Hunter on Tick. That's Secret Cold Sauce. That's the guy. So again, Hunter on Tick. The ugliest man alive. You know, it's like, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
Silly,
Twitch. He's got a YouTube. Hunter Bros on YouTube. Hunter Bros on Clapper. Secret Cold Sauce and some numbers on Twitch. Secret Cold Sauce on Rumble. He's not normally posting on those like he does on TikTok. That's his main platform. But yeah. Allegedly most handsome guy ever in the whole entire universe. That's just his opinion. Other than that, I'm gonna go on a limb and say no, he can't survive in Fallout. Yeah.
We try to find the first thing he said.
We're gonna end it before he can get back and correct us on everything we said. So that was it for Nerding Out. Yeah, we'll catch you guys for Senzu Talks Wednesday. And then we got Great Nimbus Debates next weekend. Most likely we're gonna move it from Saturdays to Sundays since I think that's the better day for everyone to hang on. Yeah. Thank everyone for being here. Thank the panel. Thank the viewers. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
One love, peace.
Later.